GMS.
Gaming Morning Show.
Tell your friends, tell your mom, Gaming Morning Show is on.
Wait,
Austin, your mom is here?
No.
Why did I look over where Bob is?
Austin, your mom is here?
Is she over there?
I sure hope not.
Is she in the box?
Whoa.
I haven't seen her in like 2 days.
Get out of here, Beelin. I just got the new marble tile installed and you'll mess up the grout. Besides, like our friend Oh Guitar Boy said,
Sorry, KK.
it's time for the clinically acclaimed Gaming Morning Show. Or should I say, award-winning.
And we have a clip of the year, friends. It is the Lost City of D live.
Glad we won.
Woo! Burp, burp, burp.
Kiki Lowe is in search of something.
I need a D that works.
There's the D. Searching in the universe because the D is currently broken.
Gaming Morning Show won clip of the year.
Oh my gosh.
But don't you dare expect to put that Chris Emmy Memorial Clip of the Year trophy in this
I
box.
probably should have prepared something more special.
I'm getting the walls repainted soon. Now where to put the chandelier or the bearskin rug? Oh, and the piano, can't forget that.
Maybe there is somebody in the world that can help her. Maybe somebody who sings a song.
6 to 9 a.m. Pacific. If you wanna get specific, I couldn't imagine any other place to go than to start the day with the Gaming Morning Show.
Morning, gamer. It's Gaming Morning Show, and it is Monday, February 7th, 2022. Thanks for being along for the ride, wherever you may be. Could be Facebook Gaming, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, or GamingMorningShow.tv. I am Hefty Goof. That is Sports.Gaming. Good moron, Sean.
Top of the moron, too.
First time I realized that rhymes. Good moron, Sean. That's fun. I like it. Very happy with that. I'm probably more amused by that than I actually really should, but that's going to stick with me. All right. My takeaway of the day is already done, so takeaway that's pretty okay. No sweat.
Getting started early.
Mm-hmm. Happy Monday. Hope everyone's week is starting off as well as it possibly can. I appreciate everyone hanging out with us, like I said, on all those platforms. We got 3 hours of fun scheduled for you. Coming up, we're going to talk to Cassidy Stevenson of Comic Book Resources. You might have heard of a little game called Pokemon Legends Arceus.
No, never heard of it.
That might make sense because the way that it was conveyed to me was not through traditional forms of advertising or anything. It was, hey, Dad, can we play Arceus? Hey, Dad, can we play Arceus? Hey, Dad, can we play Arceus? Hey, Dad, can we... So that's how I found out about it.
That makes sense.
Didn't stop for days.
It never stops. Can't stop, won't stop.
It was pretty much following. Hey, Dad, can I play Diamond? Dad, can I play Pearl?
At least there's only one this time.
What is up with that, by the way?
Pokemon games, to my knowledge, have always come out in like pairs, so I don't know why this one's all by itself.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because Arceus is unrivaled.
It is a Pokemon legend.
It's true.
As my friend Jack Black once said, "The legend." That's my Jack Black impression.
The naming kind of indicates that this will be like a sub-series, right? Like, are there going to be more Pokemon Legends blank? I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I guess it's a little bit different as you've talked about. You might try it out and play it. So I hope everyone who is, even like Superphonic, who streamed on Saturday, said couldn't wait for the Amazon person to actually deliver the physical copy. So actually bought it twice and got a digital version of it. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Anyway, we'll talk about this particular game in the context of leaking. Not like Kiki leaking, but like
Spoiler tease!
like, hey, this game is coming out and here's some information about it that you need to know. Or should
Is
steal.
Kiki Leaks kind of like WikiLeaks?
No.
Is that like
No.
the same thing?
No, I don't think they're the exact. They're perspiration.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know. Julian Assange, for all I know, might be a sweater. So, depends.
Depends. That's a different thing.
It's also for leaking. Good moron to aforementioned Kiki Lowe, who's in the chat. Good moron to you. Tracer's here. Good moron to you, Tracer. No, I still haven't tried egg coffee. That's not your fault. It's mine. It's only been like 16 months, okay?
Which is weird because usually trying new things is like Ryan's forte.
Right? Always like to try to explore the new and unexpected. So good.
Hefty is so wrong.
Just in general.
Yep. That's a pretty blanket statement, Bob. I am Jave Downs is here. Good morning to you. Look, it's Mike O's here as well. Good morning to you, buddy. Scott Chick 360 is hanging out with us. Downs was here at 41 after 5 o'clock. Kate Zaid, who as of late has been opening up the pre-show, was here at 38 after 5 o'clock. Scott Chick showed up earlier than that, but all on the heels of Kiki Lowe, who was in fact first today. So I still think Kate Zaid deserves some extra credit because Kiki, Scott Chick, and Downs are all watching in the UK.
Yeah,
And
they're cheating using time zones.
Yeah, you're from the future. And so, I mean, like, listen, I guess I would say Hyper has the best chance to be in there the earliest because Hyper's out of Australia, but it's actually really late there. So Kiki Downs and Scott Chick are kind of in that sweet spot.
Yeah, that's true.
I might have you send me a touch more audio. Here's what we're going to talk about coming up. We are going to check in with Look at Mike and see what Mike is tracking this hour. Today is Play More Cards Day, Wave All Your Fingers at Your Neighbor's Day, National Send a Card to Your Friend Day, World Ballet Day, National Fettuccine Alfredo Day, National Periodic Table Day, Cheerleading Week, and Congenital Heart Defect Awareness Week.
Wow. Do I have to wave all of my fingers at my neighbors?
Well, were you moving your thumb just a second ago when you were demonstrating?
Yep, it went along for the ride.
Is it a finger?
Sure. It's a digit.
But is it a finger?
It depends.
Because these are always what I was told have the fingers, right?
I'm going to wave just my thumbs just to be controversial.
Yeah, listen, we'll cover all bases. I'll wave my 8 fingers at our neighbor, since we do live, fairly close. You take care of the thumbs, okay? And then we have plausible deniability. You were waving your fingers at me. No, it wasn't. We weren't. I don't think a lawyer could get us out of that one.
No, I don't think so. Do we have a lawyer we can call just to ask?
That they're over in fulfillment.
Oh, that makes sense.
We should consider changing out some of the roles for Gaming Morning Show. I think we have too many people in the same bucket.
Is it because anyone that's not us is in fulfillment?
Well, look, it's Mike O. Says call Jeff. He knows. What's the question exactly that I'm supposed to ask Jeff? Our thumbs fingers?
Our thumbs fingers.
All right.
I guess it really comes down to this. Like if you asked a kid, how many toes do you have? And they say 10. And you go, how many fingers do you have? What are they gonna say?
10.
They're gonna say 10.
Yeah.
And if I asked you, if we weren't having this conversation already, and go, how many fingers and toes do you have? What would you say?
I'd say 20, yeah, total.
Yeah. So I think they're fingers.
Okay.
Top of the moron.
You think we'll
know? So I think getting overly specific about our thumbs, fingers just breaks early childhood education.
All right. Top of the moron to you, Earthling Gaming. All right, so you want me to do this. All right.
It's time for Ask Jeff. It's time for Ask Jeff. Ask Jeff.
He was really enthusiastic about that one.
Hello.
Are thumbs fingers?
No, they're thumbs.
Are fingers thumbs?
No.
There you go. Resounding no. Jeff.
I'm glad he didn't say fingers or thumbs, because that'd really throw things off.
No.
There you go. The answer, Mike, is no, they're not. So everything we learned in grade school was a lie. Everything. I feel bad now. I brought up egg coffee, and now Tracer's having to defend Tracer in chat because was made with an egg, and now we have to explain egg coffee every time, Tracer. This is my fault. Today's topic of the day has to do with a recent announcement this morning that was trending on Twitter. Frontier and Spirit Airlines are merging. Those two airlines are coming together to form one airline.
I'm sure it'll be great.
When's the last time you've been on Frontier Airlines?
A few years ago, we went on a trip to Colorado for a family reunion, and we flew Frontier. And that is the last time I'll ever fly Frontier. It was awful.
Now, I want to try to be fair with the criticism that I will also probably shoot at Frontier. What made it awful for you in that particular instance?
Oh, the customer service was terrible. They nickel and dime you for every little thing. And no one was nice about anything.
Okay. Top of the moron, Danny. It's good to see you. Thanks for being here for Gaming Morning Show. By the way, chat, we were asking you what is your favorite airline?
Good moron!
It's good to see you, Danny. Danny's even asking about coffee and eggs. I want to get more into that in a second. Let's focus on the airline for a second. All right. Now, the argument would be, and again, I'm trying to be very fair. The argument would be, well, you're paying significantly less money to fly Frontier, and so the way that their business model works is they're going to charge you, okay, X amount of dollars for the ticket, which can be significantly less than like a United or a Southwest. But yes, if you want, to check a bag, it's going to cost you more than some other airlines. If you want to carry on a bag, it's going to cost you probably way more than most airlines. If you want a seatbelt, it's going to cost you some extra money. Okay? That I'm not sure they have a seatbelt fee yet.
If you want to take a look at the emergency pamphlet that every other airline has, they'll let you rent it for $3.
It's not even allegedly. It's in theory. That could be something that this business model would create. So are you okay getting nickel and dimed for everything when you know that you're paying like a much lower base fee?
In theory, there are situations where I'd be okay with that. If you're going to have that business model, you need to hire people that know how to provide proper customer service. Because being asked, like, if you are working on an airline, and someone asks something like, hey, could I get a ginger ale? The proper response is not, yeah, but that'll be like $3. Just saying, like, you should know that other airlines perhaps provide those sort of services for free and be like understanding and not snotty about it. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Or like when someone asks you a simple question like you're traveling with two kids and have car seats and need to know what their like preferred procedures are for like gate checking those. Maybe don't ask like I'm the like 1,000th person to ask you in the last half hour and be like, well, obviously you do this. It's like, okay, well, obviously I've never like been at this specific gate at this specific time needing to gate check a car seat. So how about you just like get right off your high horse and just give me the information in a more pleasant way.
So
That's what I'm saying.
I want to add some context to this. So Sean is not a big fan of what is your favorite type of questions, right? Because it's usually hard for Sean to nail down a favorite with a lot of conviction because Sean likes a lot of things. I get the impression, though, that your experience with one particular airline that's merging with another was such a bad experience that you feel said conviction today.
Oh, I'm not great at what's your favorite, but man, I'm sure great at what's your least favorite.
I would like to point out in your defense, you're not an overly negative person, so.
No, not usually.
Okay. So
no, it was just awful. And it doesn't help that we were traveling with, my wife, our kids, and my parents. So there were a lot of us. It was the worst experience was on our flight home. So we were all tired already, but they just weren't kind. Which, like I said, if you're going to have policies that are well known to be counter to other airlines when it comes to what's complimentary and what's paid. Like, just sell it with some customer service. That's all it takes. And they just failed to do that.
So I did not have nearly as bad of an experience last time I flew Frontier, but I did fly Frontier to go to also Colorado because, Frontier is basically based out of Denver. So, it makes sense.
Maybe it's a Colorado problem.
Well, I've never flown Spirit. I'm a little scared to fly Spirit because I've heard that it's a tough experience. I will also acknowledge that being able to get somewhere from one other place, fly through the air in a giant mechanical marvel like that is of jet engines, for like $80 is pretty cool, especially if you don't bring anything with you and don't want a seatbelt, etc. Right? But I had forgotten just how uncomfortable riding in a Frontier airplane was. And the thing is my very first experience flying that I remember, probably not my only experience flying when I was a kid, but we flew Frontier to go to my first ever Denver Broncos game, which, by the way, was a pivotal moment in my life. So I want to not underplay how important this thing was. Okay. And at the time, it was a much nicer airline. And then I think they shifted their business model at some point between the mid-90s and 2019. So over the course of 25 years, they decided to do something different. And I don't want to ever fly Frontier again unless I absolutely can't afford an alternative. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I am honestly talking about a privileged position because I can afford to pay for a different airline if I needed to. So it's Frontier's business model. I'm sorry that you had such a bad customer service experience because that's probably the part that most people have the most control over because they can choose how they want to act. But I'm sure that they're also not getting paid anything is my guess. All this to say...
Turns out their paycheck is also an additional add-on.
Would you like a paycheck? That'll be $1 extra. All of that to say that this merger is between two very budget-focused airlines. They are growing because they offer cheap fares and a pile of fees, according to USA Today. The airlines announced the deal on Monday, calling the combined airline, quote, the country's most competitive ultra-low-fare airline. It'll also apparently become the United States' nation's fifth largest airline based on seat capacity. The merged airline has not been named. We'll have more than 1,000 daily flights to more than 145 destinations in the United States, Latin America, and the Caribbean, with a fleet of nearly 300 planes. But given that we just talked about all the extra fees, I have to share with you my favorite tweet of the whole entire morning. And that so far has been from the Big Hurt HQ. Frontier and Spirit are merging. Word is Spirit paid $200 million for Frontier, plus $2 billion for the planes, plus $100 million for the computer systems, plus $350 for the other equipment. No word on seatbelts. So, at 6:25, Downs goes, they actually don't have seatbelts, ? They do have seatbelts. They do. And you do not have to pay extra for the seatbelts. I'm not entirely sure your point is not true, though. I don't know if they do rent your safety card or not.
I sure hope not, but that would be hilarious.
Will you click on your second captions link? I think it went away.
Why'd you break?
Tracer goes, Emirates is nice, but not necessarily cheap. Yeah, I don't think Emirates... I've never flown, but I always perceived Emirates to be more expensive than like a Frontier or something. Kiki Low, way up earlier, said, my fave airline is Virgin. I have never flown Virgin Airlines, and I think Alaska and Virgin are now the same airline. Mm-hmm. And I've heard from a friend who used to be like a Virgin stan that Virgin's gone downhill since Alaska acquired them. I've had a really good experience with Alaska. It's not been great. Like it's not.
What I like about I flew Alaska a bunch in high school or in college because that's what I flew back and forth from here to California during breaks and stuff. And I've flown them recently too. What I like about Alaska is it's never amazing, but it's consistent.
Yeah.
You know exactly what to expect, and they're usually pretty kind about things.
And sometimes I'll have an amazing experience with Alaska, whereas I won't have a negative experience with Alaska. So I've had a pretty good time with them. But my favorite airline, to be honest, JetBlue. And JetBlue for a long time had a bad rap. And I don't remember what the problem was. And so if anyone can remind me why JetBlue had a bad rap, I can't remember if, unfortunately, like a plane crashed or there was an issue. But I've flown JetBlue numerous times between the West Coast and like Boston. They have a significant amount more of like leg room in their coach seats, and the planes seemed cleaner than other planes, and the check-in was all great. I had a very good experience with JetBlue the like last 4 times I've flown it. So here's to you, JetBlue. Proud of you. Let's talk more about this. It's 6:27 West Coast, 9:27 out east. It is 2:27 for those watching GMS in the UK. I really didn't expect for you to have like a 4-minute long story about Frontier Airlines. It's great. It's good stuff. Let's get the news. It's hashtag video game expert Sean.
Good morning. It is Monday, February 7th, 2022, and this is your gaming morning show, Morning Gaming News. After being a game on 3 generations of platforms, Rockstar has officially confirmed that the next Grand Theft Auto game is in active development. This is from Marcus Stewart of Game Informer. In addition to revealing the release date of the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X/S versions of Grand Theft Auto 5 and GTA Online, Rockstar has confirmed that development on the full-fledged next GTA game has indeed commenced. In a blog post, they said, quote, "With the unprecedented longevity of GTA 5, we know many of you have been asking us about a new entry in the Grand Theft Auto series. With every new project we embark on, our goal is always to significantly move beyond what we have previously delivered, and we are pleased to confirm that active development for the next entry in the Grand Theft Auto series is well underway. We look forward to sharing more as soon as we are ready, so please stay tuned to the Rockstar Newswire for official details." So there you go. Someday we will play something, whatever comes after GTA 5. Who knows what that'll be.
Do you think they'll try to make up for lost time and call it GTA 17?
GTA 8.
Well, Cole, you remember like when the iPhone skipped 9?
They sure did. And they tried to justify it. They were like, well, it's the 10th anniversary. And everyone's like, no, don't do that.
I mean, in their defense, I don't think the second one had a name. I don't remember. One of them, I think, felt like they skipped it. But
yeah, well, it went iPhone. The first one was just iPhone. Yeah. And then they went iPhone 3G.
There you go.
And then 3GS. Everyone's like, you've been talking to Microsoft for your naming strategies?
iPhone Series X.
So this is great news. Everyone assumed a new GTA game would be coming at some point. This is for sure the longest stretch we've had without a new GTA game, but it's continued to sell, and GTA Online continues to make a bunch of money. So there's not a lot of motivation to invest heavily into building a new game when the one you've built is doing just. And this was a PlayStation 3 game that's now coming out on the PlayStation 5 and is still going to sell well and still plays well and still looks good. So there's not a lot to complain about, but I am excited to see what comes next, because obviously they've set that bar just so very high with this last game that they've got to do something interesting. So it'll be fun to watch. Speaking of games that we've been waiting for them to come out, Hogwarts Legacy. We have some updates, kind of some speculation on Hogwarts Legacy. This was it was released in September of 2020 and was supposed to come out January of 2021 and got delayed to give, quote, the game time it needs. But here's some hints, some signs that it may be coming out this coming September. It has no official release date announced, but in this September, they have announced the release date for the official art book of Hogwarts Legacy. The art and making of Hogwarts Legacy will be released on September 6th. Also, September 1st is traditionally celebrated as Back to Hogwarts Day, which marks the day that the fictional characters of the wizarding world return to Hogwarts. So both of these, could be signs that it could be coming out in September. And that also fits with the one thing we do know about the release date is that they had said at one point that they were going to wait to release Hogwarts Legacy until after the release of the next, totally blanking on the name, the movies that are coming out.
Something Beasts. Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, Fantastic Beasts, which is due out in April. So that would obviously September is after April. So that checks out.
Thank you.
This just in.
We have some breaking month news for you.
Breaking news. We're going to take it to our calendar expert. So that'll be fun. This game, from what we've seen, looks really fun. So I'm excited to see more and get our hands on it. But as Scott Chick says, September is a long way away, which is sad. But it's going to go quick because we have so many games between now and then to play. So it'll be fun. In our next news story of the day, the Steam Deck is coming out. It's on its way out, and it's starting to get in people's hands. And turns out the Steam Deck is a handheld of size. it's apparently real big. And I've gotten some visual cues. Here is the Steam Deck compared to a Nintendo Switch.
Holy cow.
It's real big. Here is the Steam Deck compared to the PlayStation Vita.
Wow.
It's so big.
It's hopefully gonna weigh a lot less than it looks like it's gonna weigh. Because even like I
don't think so.
The Nintendo Switch is heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is from Wesley LeBlanc of Game Informer. It looks quite big. The release date is quickly coming, so we'll actually get some reports of what it feels like to hold. But it's significantly larger than any of the handhelds that we've gotten our hands on. So for people with smaller hands, this might be challenging. And yeah, I don't think it's going to be light. I think it's going to be a chonker of a handheld. So. And so you may want to be careful if you're someone who likes to lay in bed and play handheld games. Maybe wear like a face shield or something just in case.
We've been watching a lot of luge for the Olympics. Maybe they need some Uver face shields. UVER, Uver.
Uver.
It's not Uber.
Yeah, it's a big boy. Handheld of size. And always last but never least, we finish off today's Gaming Morning Show Morning Gaming News with the world-renowned segment within a segment where we take a look at what is out today. Downs with the comment of the day so far. Will it weigh more than 8 AA batteries? Do you remember the days of putting just large amounts of batteries in handheld devices?
I mean, that Game Gear, yeah, it needed
They were heavy.
AA's.
Out today, we have Heroes of Loot 2 out on the Switch. And for the most prestigious award in video game focused morning shows, your favorite segment within a segment within a segment, today's name of the morning goes to Unstrong Legacy out on Switch.
Unstrong?
Unstrong.
Okay. So not the Stretch Armstrong of games.
The Stretch Armstrong.
Well, there you go. Congratulations. Name of the morning, and thus eligible for name of the month consideration. I was trying to find out what a AA battery weighs, and it's only coming up in grams, and so that doesn't help me, but for those that might help, Apparently, a AA battery weighs 24 grams.
Weighs a little bit more than a AAA battery.
1A less or more. Never understood that. They get smaller, but they get more A's.
Mm-hmm.
It's confusing. Well, there you go. Congratulations again to Unstrong Legacy. We will announce our January name of the month soon, and once we do, you are eligible to win. By going to our Patreon, you can also get a second entry if you're on the subscriber tier and above. That is for any of our GMS, or I should say most of our GMS giveaways. Kneecap tier, Bob tier qualify as well. Find out more about how you can join the over 25 Patreon subscribers going to patreon.com/gamingmorningshow. It is now 6:37 out on the West Coast. Thank you for being here. 9:37 out East. We're going to check in with Look It's Mike O in just a little bit, see what Mike is tracking this hour. We are a morning radio show that plays games, and our question of the day has to do with Spirit and Frontier merging. What is your favorite airline? Why is your favorite airline your favorite airline? Earthling goes, where do they keep that thing, though? It's so big. Yeah, that's true. That Steam Deck, which, by the way, I still wish they would have named it not Steam Deck, because that is very hard for me to say compared to Stream Deck. But, yeah, that thing, you're going to get arm workouts with it as well.
Yeah, do some curls. Get ripped.
I mean, it's 0.85 ounces for one AA battery, so you put 8 of those into a Game Gear and you're already almost like, what, 6 pounds? Wait, 6 pounds? No, that's 16 ounces times 6. Close to 6 ounces. Just not 6 pounds. Can you imagine?
Close enough.
Figured it out. All right, there you go. Earthly goes, oh my gosh, it's Valentine's countdown week. Get your gifts and flowers. You know, do you remember those assorted chocolate boxes for Valentine's Day?
Mm-hmm.
They'd come in like a heart shape a lot of times. Russell Stover, I think, made a lot of them. They were always so hard to get the chocolates out of.
Yeah. Yeah, they're tricky.
But I always appreciated the versions of those that had the chart.
Yep, the map.
Oh, the map, yes.
You got to have the chocolate map. I'm not one, even if I know that every single flavor is one that I enjoy, I'm not one for mystery chocolates. I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not looking for a surprise with my chocolate box. I want to eat, I want to play the hits, you know? Give me dark chocolate and coconut, and I'd just rather have a box of that as opposed to, ooh, wonder what hazelnut and pecans taste like.
Yeah, I like the variety, but yeah, there's definitely ones that I prefer over others.
Yeah. We started talking about egg coffee because Tracer's in the chat, and then Kate Zaid, who opened up the pregame show, tagged us in a photo, and it looked like Kate Zaid was drinking like a nice frothy beer, which Caleb Wins Games on Twitter said, a beer with ice in it. That's an aggressive move for a Monday morning, but I fully support it. And then Scott Chick showed up as well, said, thanks for the reminder, I boiled the kettle for tea and forgot to make it. So Scott Chick's having some tea this morning. Which ends up being Dandy Blend, which is the coffee alternative that Kate Zaid's drinking. But that allows us to close the loop on egg coffee. Tracer said, afraid of egg coffee. I am, apparently. It is made with an egg. And I'll send you a link. Hey, Tracer, if you'd be so kind, like you do every single show where we bring up egg coffee, if you could just, again, post the link in our Discord, please. That'd be great. Downs is telling us 8 AA batteries is about a half pound. A Steam Deck is about 1.5 pounds. So you're looking at a 2-pound machine.
Need a handle for it.
I'm gonna get ripped with my Steam Deck. Scott Chick says chocolate maps are a must. Confirmed. Ooh, Cadbury chocolate box did the dirty. They got rid of the strawberry creams and replaced it with the raspberry dealio. I'm gonna go raspberry is better than strawberry in my opinion. In chocolate. I love
It
strawberry.
depends.
Strawberries.
I could go either way. In general, I like raspberry stuff more than strawberry, but strawberry cream sounds yummy.
Oh, kind of like the like a strawberry cream, like ice cream bar or something like that. Like remember how they have the orange creamsicle ones?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Didn't formally say hi on the air yet. It's a Wu Dang Pig. Wu Dang is here.
Top of the moron.
Good moron to you, Wu. The game could be exciting going back to Hogwarts in the Gaming Morning Show Morning Gaming News. Yeah, it's good to see you. Thank you for being here. Let's do this. It's now 6:42. Let's find out what Mike O is tracking at this hour.
Happy Monday, Ryan, Sean, chat. Hope you had a great weekend. Our first story comes from our good friend Ben Hooper from UPI. From him, he tells us the drawing was purchased for $30 at a yard sale and it's been valued at more than $10 million after it was identified as being a previously unknown work by German Renaissance artist Albrecht Dürer. The London-based Agnews Gallery said Clifford Schauer, same as Dürer but Schauer, a Boston-based art collector and consultant for the gallery, was in Massachusetts bookstore in 2019 when the owner asked him to take a look at a drawing purchased by a friend. The bookseller told Schauer the drawing, which had been purchased for $30 at a yard sale in 2017, might be a Dürer original. Schauer said he was skeptical, but he visited the owner, who wished to remain anonymous. A few weeks later, and he was shocked to see the drawing, The Virgin and the Child. It appeared to be a work of Dürer, who died in 1528. When you're in my world, you spend your life looking for unknown things that lead to fascinating research avenues. I could see I was at the beginning of something extremely exciting, Schauer told CNN. Schauer said he spent 3 years traveling around the world to verify the authenticity of the piece. The art collector said experts agree that technical age analysis places the drawing in the right time period and the piece bears the hallmarks of Dürer's work. Schauer said he believes the drawing could be worth more than $10 million. In terms of relative value, I think you have to compare it to other old master drawings, Schauer said. Now that is why when you go to a yard sale, you got to look out for what you're looking out for. Maybe take a chance on a $30 drawing of, things. I remember I was at the Antique Roadshow this one time, and everything was great. We had so much fun. Back to you.
Okay. Apparently, Mike was at the Antique Roadshow one time, but it's not going to delight us with that story.
That was the end of the story.
Wow. What a cliffhanger, Maiko. Jeez. Did you see how after 1 week Mike's already going tieless?
I know. That's he's all casual now.
Yeah.
What's he gonna put around his head when he gets all disheveled at the end of the week?
I mean, Monday Mike looked pretty on par with the hair. So, on par, under par, like he looked really good. I mean, listen, I've heard those stories before. You go to a garage sale or some sort of thing, an estate sale or whatever, and you find something that you thought was just kind of like, oh, this will be nice to have, and it turns out it's worth a significant amount of money.
That's pretty good. That's never happened to me.
Yeah, I don't think
maybe someday.
I don't think it's ever happened to me on the receiving end. I did once accidentally sell a ping golf putter that was probably worth a significant amount of money. I didn't mean to include it in a garage sale, but it was put into a golf club bag with other golf clubs we were selling, and we tried to sell the set for like $3, and I was gone putting signs out for our garage sale. And a person showed up and asked my wife, hey, I don't need the whole set, but I'll just take this golf club for like $1. So,
bummer.
That was sad. I'll always remember you, golf club. Frontier and Spirit Airlines are merging. We're asking you, what is your favorite airline? Did you actually answer which one is your favorite airline?
I did not. I am a fan of Alaska. I've flown that a bunch. We had a really good experience recently with Delta. And so we've tried to fly Delta a couple times since that.
Downs goes, my favorite airline's BA. It's not always the cheapest, but there are so many free things you can try to close the cap. Well, and it makes sense. Like, when you're a Frontier or a Spirit, right, and you use a budget model, on paper, it makes people think that, oh, this is great. What a great deal, right? Then you start to add in all the conveniences and such that other airlines include for no additional cost, and then those things can change. Like pleasant people, or Sean getting the car seat where it's supposed to go.
One of my requirements when flying, no matter what the price difference is having pre-assigned seats. Because nothing stresses me out more than like worrying about getting there early enough so that your family can sit together.
Yeah, it's interesting because Southwest has that model where you just show up and you get assigned like a boarding section, but the earlier you show up, the more of a priority you get to board. And I've never enjoyed that model, not because it stresses me out, but just because I'm not early to anything. So I don't want to have to get to the airport more than like 45 minutes before my airplane's supposed to leave, if I can help it. I would like to also point out I have missed a flight in my life, so there you go. Tracer did mention Emirates earlier. At least part had some nice deals for students, but I think the Arabic ones are also really nice in general. Yeah, and I've never flown... I don't think I've ever flown a non-U.S. airline before.
Yeah, same. But I will for the first time this summer.
Nice. Which one are you taking?
I don't remember.
Fantastic.
I actually even looked in my email to see which one it was, but I don't have that confirmation email. My wife does.
Sports Talk wife, which one are we flying? Yeah, I did get tricked one time because in response to like Spirit and Frontier's model, United Airlines came out with a like extra economy or something level of flying. So they already had an economy flight, and then they made it like economy, like super economy. And it turns out that the whole thing was, yeah, you don't get carry-ons for free. And I was flying for a broadcast, so I had all my broadcast gear with me. And I don't want to put that into the checked baggage because it's pretty expensive stuff. And if it doesn't show up, then, you know, we don't get the broadcast on the air and all this stuff. And so I go to the first place, and they're like, oh, you can't bring that on the airplane. You have to check it. And I'm like, I need you to understand. This stuff is very important to me. Please don't make me check this bag. And so I had to do a lot of talking to get that thing on the plane. Also, for what it's worth, an interesting experience when you have a hard-sided suitcase that has a audio mixer in it with everything else being basically loose cabling that's running throughout, and you take that thing through the x-ray machine. You get a lot of second looks. It was not surprising that I had to go over for additional screening.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah. I kind of was happy that I had to be honest. I one time took, we had two of them, like two different cases, because one was a very small case for the most expensive piece. It was, you know, like a $10,000 box. And so we had this, like, silver briefcase with it. It would look like I was carrying like an antidote to like a big plague or something inside it if it was handcuffed to my arm. You know what I mean? Like that's what it would have looked like. And and so I had two of those, and sure enough, I got to my destination, and there was a note in the big one that said, "We did some additional screening in your luggage." I mean, think about It's a whole bunch of components with just cables running all over the place.
That checks out.
Yep. Top of the moron to you, Dungeon Meowster KJ.
Top of the moron.
And Culty Vibes this year. Good moron to you as well. Thanks for being with us. We are a morning radio show that plays games, and today we're asking you, Frontier and Spirit Airlines are merging. So what is your favorite airline? We've heard some good answers so far as well. Earthling Gaming says, I'm loving these segments. This is in response to At This Hour with Look, It's Mike O. We are also loving Mike's segments. Mike will join us next hour to check in with us again. Scott Chick said, it's not a cream, it's a crispy one. There are no creams in the box anymore, hence why I was upset. This is going back to chocolates. What's your favorite or top selections from like the candy box?
I like a good caramel. Caramel's delicious. I like the ones that are like have like the chocolate cream inside. Those are good too. I don't typically, in those specific like boxes, that style of chocolate, I don't usually like the fruit filled ones. Although I like fruit filling in general, so. Did it? Did it just ban the word Alaska?
So Automod, good moron to you, Automod.
Good moron.
Dungeon Meowster KJ is trying to answer our question and typed fave airline ... Alaska and had to go through an Automod.
Get wrecked, the state of Alaska. You're not allowed here.
Yeah. I had to laugh because it's kind of like taking a flight and having to go through a different city. You had to route yourself through Automod to get to our chat. So, yeah, rough stuff.
Top of the moron.
Brendan is here. Frontier and Spirit are merging to make a super bad airline. Also, morning gamers. Look, it's Mike says, not that I fly often, but but I like to put a note in my luggage that says, "Hi, you found my luggage. Put it back nicely, please." It hasn't worked. I mean, it's TSA, I assume. To their credit, they didn't make my broadcast stuff fit badly. They didn't like move a whole bunch of stuff and then like cram it back down to the point where like knobs were snapped or anything. So, thank you, TSA.
Would you get in trouble just like as a joke putting a note in there that says nothing to see here with like a $5 bill?
Nope, not gonna do that. I want to get on the plane.
I mean, technically, that's not breaking any rules, right? I mean, they could still check it, obviously. But like, could you get in trouble for like trying to bribe someone? Is that technically a bribe?
Have to understand, like, even right now, I'm talking about this story on a radio show, and I still won't basically say that I think that they were thinking it could be a bomb, is what I'm trying to say with all these components, because it makes me nervous to bring up anything relating to airlines with the word bomb, like ever. So I'm trying not even to say anything, but whatever. Lady K is here as well. Good moron to you.
Top of the moron.
It's 6:55 West Coast. It's 9:55 out East. 2:55 for those watching GMS in the UK. That's time for birthdays this day in gaming history. If you have a birthday to celebrate with us, please let us know because we would like to celebrate with you. Today is actor James Spader's 62nd birthday. I do have a James Spader story, and that is, I believe James Spader was the person who was in the Blacklist, which was a pretty or kind of popular NBC show. Okay, if somebody wants to check that and let me know, I would believe you if I was wrong, but I think it was because it's the only time I recall ever hearing of James Spader. But they were very excited about James being the person starring in the Blacklist. Like, you know how sometimes they point out the star of a new sitcom or new show that's coming out? Like, really emphasize it? That was the thing. It was like, James Spader is in the Blacklist on NBC. So.
Yep.
Anyway, 62 today for James.
Nice.
Writer Robert Smigel turned 62.
He's also been a writer for Late Night with Conan O'Brien and the Dana Carvey Show.
Garth Brooks is 60 today. The last thing that I remember doing in a group setting was going to a Garth Brooks concert at the football stadium in Eugene, Oregon. And it was cool because it was in the round. So Garth set up on one side of the football field, and then there were seats sold all around it, and there were seats sold in the football field area, and it was great. But Garth did that when Garth was roughly 57. So I mean, I remember early Garth, pre-Chris Evans Garth, like flying around on zip wires and stuff.
Yep. Garth Brooks was my first ever like legitimate concert. Saw him at the Staples Center, and rest in peace, Staples Center. When I was a kid in California, and there's at one point in the concert, he was running around being young Garth Brooks, and the drummer was playing like a drum solo, and Garth Brooks comes over and he's like helping by like smacking the cymbals, and he starts like kicking the cymbal, and the cymbal falls over and takes like half the drum set with it, and they had to like pause everything to fix the drum set. It was really funny.
Garth is helping. No, you're not. Stop it.
Stop hitting my cymbals.
Garth is 60 years old. So is Eddie Izzard today. 60 for actor Eddie Izzard.
Eddie Izzard and Garth Brooks, same person, confirmed.
It's a really tough name to say. Eddie Izzard. Comedian Chris Rock turns 57 today.
And here he's seen sitting next to Pete Davidson and Jon Stewart. What do you think that conversation was like?
Oh, that was at the NBA basketball game. Man, that was probably Knicks Warriors, if I remember right.
Yeah, but that was way back in like December, like Tuesday the 14th, I think.
It was a Tuesday. Yeah. That's a merry Taffer
was that
photo, if I've ever seen
one. Was that an away game?
For which team?
For the Knicks.
No, I think they were playing at Madison Square Garden.
Oh yeah, that checks out.
That particular photo. Let's see. Producer, TV producer Free is 54 today. Free, American media personality, philanthropist, rose to fame as the first host of BET's 106 in Park, according to Wikipedia. Happy 54th to Free. Actress Essence Atkins is 50 today. Essence is primarily or had started as a television sitcoms actress, and then regularly on the short-lived Under One Roof. It's better known for some television comedies, according to Wikipedia as well. So Essence Atkins turns 50 today. Back to the AP list. Ashton Kutcher turns 44 today.
Nice. He has a fraternal twin named Michael.
There is a person named Jeremy Meeks who turns 38 today as a model. And I remember seeing Jeremy Meeks' mugshot and thought it was only a meme. I didn't realize that Jeremy was actually a model. Here's the story, also according to Wikipedia. Jeremy Meeks is an American fashion model, a former member of the Crips street gang. Meeks was arrested in 2014. And then the police in Stockton, California, put a mugshot on Facebook. He was convicted of federal charges, went to prison, and then got out, I believe, in March of 2016. After that, started a modeling career. And it's because the mugshot became like a meme where they're like, this is the most beautiful person I've ever seen, right? And so got hired and now does full-blown modeling work for the last, 5+ years.
Wow. What a story.
Really impressive.
Yeah.
Deborah Ann Wool turns 37 today, actress.
Once appeared as a restaurant patron during an episode of Hell's Kitchen.
Mentioned Essence Atkins was in Half and Half and Smart Guy. Those are some of the credits on this list. So, the person who started John Deere Tractors. Well, maybe not. It says American pioneer and craftsman, John Deere. So did John Deere actually start John Deere Tractors?
I don't know. Or was it just named after him for some reason?
Yeah. Laura Ingalls Wilder has also got a birthday today. Or had.
Oh, yeah.
Laura's no longer.
John Deere. Founded by John Deere and Charles Deere.
What Charles do?
Charles.
Yeah. Couldn't it be the Deere Tractor Company or something?
Nope, not allowed.
Any other birthdays?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't think so.
This day in gaming history, one before 1995, so it's time for Sean to play Lawsuit or Not Lawsuits from 1983.
Lawsuit.
All right, locked in. Lawsuit. Atari seeks a legal injunction against Coleco Industries to stop it from selling its Coleco Vision adapter to play Atari cartridges. An injunction. That seems like lawsuit adjacent. That counts.
Correct.
Very proud of you. Nice work.
1 for 1.
2005 at the International Solid State Circuits Conference.
Oh boy.
The ISSCC.
What a party.
Wonder what they were talking about. Sony, IBM, and Toshiba engineers reveal specifications for the Cell processor. CELL. It's also capitalized. Sony, this is in 2005, will use the Cell in its next generation PlayStation console. The Cell will have a 64-bit IBM power processor and 8 processing units capable of handling separate computing tasks. The processor expected to run at speeds faster than 4 gigahertz, produce 256 billion calculations per second, incorporate 2.5 megabits of on-chip memory, and have the ability to transfer data to and from off-chip memory at speeds of up to 100 gigabytes per second. The chip will incorporate 234 million transistors and be produced using advanced 90 nanometer chip-making processes.
Whew. Did you get all that? Was you gonna be a test leader?
I need a water after that.
Anyone need a good spritzing?
Or a spritzing. 2006, Konami put out Winning 11 for a bunch of machines. 2011, Nintendo put out Mario Sports Mix for the Wii. The next year, Circle Pad Pro came out for the Nintendo 3DS. The accessory adds a second analog Circle Pad controller and a second set of shoulder buttons. Price was $20. And 2012, Capcom released Resident Evil Revelations for the 3DS. That same year, EA released Kingdom of Amalur: Reckoning for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3.
Nice. You did it.
That's exhausting. It's really exhausting. Look, it's Mike O said, I saw Garth Brooks in Central Park in like 1996. Well, I saw Garth Brooks on a screen in Central Park because there was like 50,000 people there.
He puts on a good show.
Confirmation, yes. James Spader in Blacklist from JF Downs. In fact, was a big fan, apparently, of Blacklist. So, or I just watched Blacklist, said Downs. All right, next hour, we're going to talk to Cassidy from Comic Book Resources about 10 video games that were leaked before they were released. So stay tuned for that. Also next hour, sports. Meowster KJ says chips. It's a lot of chips. Tortilla chips or potato chips. They were just chips. So there you go. All right, stick around. More Gaming Morning Show. It's the Monday edition. Monday, February 7th, 2022. Thanks for being here. Facebook Gaming, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, at GamingMorningShow.tv.
Someone to dry all my tears. No, I'm not looking for someone to scare away the fears. No, I know it's not gonna happen. Don't believe in happy forever after. No one should have to feel this torn. We're unable to speak with voices to soar. We could do better than this. We could do better than this. When you stand in the middle of the crowd, I wanna know it's me that you're missing. We could do better than this. We are much bigger than this. When you stand in the middle of the crowd, I wanna know it's me that you're missing. Me that you're missing. Me that you're missing. We could do better than this. It's not that you're not strong, or that you know what I need. In the past I played along, so devoted I lost parts of me. This time it's not gonna happen. Don't need happy forever after. I let go of past if you do too. To leave now would be running from the truth. We could do better than this. We could do better than this. When you stand in the middle of the crowd, I wanna know it's me that you're missing. We could do better than this. We are much bigger than this. When you stand in the middle of the crowd, I wanna know it's me that you're missing. Me that you're missing. Me that you're missing. We could do better than this. Better. We could do better. Better.
Too far, we're on time, but it's not what you chose when you fell so hard that you didn't want it anymore. So afraid of what would happen, that you let it go, taking a step down from heaven, 'cause you didn't know. So far and survived it. Couldn't you just do the same and make happen all the dreams that you let go? I'll be with you the whole way. I'll be in your heart, because my love is here to stay. It was from the start.
Tonight, on I Guess We'll Never Know, we go inside the unsolved case of a sibling rivalry. A misunderstanding between brother and sister that led to destruction.
Mom, have you seen my Furby?
What started as a practical joke turned deadly.
Copia said, my sister tried to convince me that it was based on a witch in the woods near my house. I boiled her Furby in response.
It was premeditated. Turns out, it was third-degree murder.
The eyes and beak melted slightly.
A special GMS event. Furbicide in the forest. Only one Furby was harmed in the making of this promo. Or was it?
The truth is, you can't kill a Furby.
It's behind you!
That your wings still spread out in heaven. There's light all around. I fell so far and survived it. Couldn't you just do the same and make happen all the dreams that you know?
Coming up on Gaming Morning Show, today's interview and birthdays. No. Coming up on Gaming Morning Show, today's interview and sports. Find GMS on Facebook Gaming, Twitch, YouTube, and GamingMorningShow.tv. And go to our website, GamingMorningshow.tv. Time for hour number 2, right now.
Good, Bob. Morning. I don't know. Bob's doing it right.
Go to our website. It sounded like a demand.
So
it's a threat.
So upset. Ridiculous. It's good to see everyone. Thank you for being here wherever you may be. Facebook Gaming, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and at GamingMorningshow.tv. We will have Cassidy from comicbookresources.com join us in just a little bit. About 10 minutes from now, we're going to talk about 10 video games that were leaked before they actually debuted, and that was on the heels of Pokemon Legends Arceus, which came out, about just over a week ago at this point?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
It's like the 28th of January or something like that. So we'll talk about that. We'll also find out if that's ever been a good thing. Like, does leaking a video game help? Is there both pros and cons to video game leaks? So we'll find that out coming up on this edition of Gaming Morning Show. Also, sports. Today, we found out, trending on Twitter, was the fact that Frontier Airlines and Spirit Airlines are merging. So we're asking, what is your favorite airline? We'll have Sean recap Sean's experience with Frontier Airlines at some point later in the show. The plans were announced to merge a $1 billion a year savings by combining, and according to the New York Times, that would also include an increase. They would be adding jobs in this. I have to admit, I was a little surprised that in a merger people would be adding jobs, but hey, I'm gonna give benefit of the doubt.
Maybe they mean that, like, Frontier is adding jobs
from all
for
the
all
Spirit
employees. Spirit Airlines is cutting a lot of jobs, though.
I hope that's not true. Tweet of the day for me is Frontier and Spirit are merging. Word is that Spirit paid $200 million for Frontier, plus $2 billion for the planes, plus $100 million for the computer systems, plus $350 million for the other equipment. That's according to the Big Hurt HQ. There was a ... at the end of that. So, yeah, I'm telling you, JetBlue,
top of the Mora,
is pretty okay. So, if you ever a chance to take JetBlue Airlines, have had a pretty they had DirecTV. I remember watching football on the way home, and on a cross-country flight, it was that football. Yeah, it's Monday night. So a cross-country flight, you couldn't beat it. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Gabe Pride is here.
And they had a direct flight from PDX to Long Beach, which was our preferred flight to go down to California. My dad traveled down to California for work about monthly there for a while, and so he was kind of a frequent flyer on that specific flight, and so that was our go-to if we needed to go down to California or wanted to go down to like Disneyland. It was a good flight.
Not bad. Not bad. Gabe Pride is here. Good morning to you, Gabe Pride. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. Many people are likely doing the host thing on Twitch. It looks like those are not coming through on alerts. So if you are hosting on Twitch, certainly do appreciate it. Austin, thank you so much for the like on Facebook Gaming. If you're watching on Facebook Gaming, that does a huge amount to help us. So please give us those likes if you can. The airline will be the 5th largest in terms of seat capacity, and, quote, they're forming the most competitive ultra-low fare airline, according to USA Today. So I think I'm all for if like I'm going to Vegas, somewhere that's a little bit shorter and I don't have to sit, like even the Denver flight is a shorter flight. I don't have to sit in those seats like multiple places. I don't have to do a connection or something like that. And I'm not planning, I can fit everything in a backpack. I do it. But if there's another flight that I can choose for $50 more,
yep,
I'm doing that instead. So,
indeed.
Well, that's just within my wheelhouse right now, and I'm thankful for that. I also remember the last time I had to fly Frontier. We're going to a Broncos game in Denver, and you know, like I said, that was the cheapest flight from Portland, Oregon to Denver, and so that's why we chose it. But that flight left at 11:15 at night, and I don't like flying overnight, or late at night. So I could have paid like $120 and gone at 6 in the morning, which is my preference. So
I do like early flights.
This is not necessarily related to anything of this story, but I do remember the one time I've been lucky enough to go to Hawaii because actually Jeff got married out in Hawaii. So we were going out there for Jeff's wedding, and we had a hotel at the airport because the flight was leaving really early in the morning, and because there was so much at stake, it was a flight to Hawaii, and it was for a wedding. We just wanted to make sure that we didn't have any traffic issues, so we stayed near the airport. And then we wake up to go at like 5 in the morning, and it's like, your flight is delayed. And we're like, oh, okay. And so we decide that we'll go to the airport closer to when it's announced that they will try to take off. And we get to the airport about 60 minutes to the time we were supposed to leave. Like, we're through security and all that. And we get to the gate, and they're like, oof, you're lucky you made it. We're leaving 20 or so minutes early. And I was like, wait, what? It was that day that I learned that sometimes apparently it's an estimate of when the plane is going to take off.
I don't think that's how that's supposed to work.
I didn't think so either. Maybe we just happened to get like the one time in history that's been the case. I mean, maybe that's a good question for chat. Chat, on any flight that you've ever been delayed, has it actually left earlier than what it was supposed to once they re-announced the time?
I feel like if you delay it, once you put out that new like leaving time, I feel like you have to stick to that even if you're ready early, because people are making accommodations based on that time.
That's what I thought too, but that was not the case for that one particular flight. At this point, 15 years ago. But yeah, I see. My common sense agrees with you. Brendan goes, yeah, that sounds a lot like people would miss flights because that's what I'm saying, yeah. And maybe there's like a fine print thing or something that I didn't realize, where it's like, once we announce the rescheduled time, then you must make every reasonable accommodation to, I don't know. Like maybe there's something, at least at the letter of the law that I missed. Now, if that had been a Frontier flight, they would have said, for only $7 more, we'll let you know when your flight leaves. So that'd be a different experience.
Depending on what price range you end up in, yeah, they'll give you your estimated time of departure. If you pay the least amount, they'll be like, you're leaving somewhere between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m.
Somewhere in the ballpark.
And then they'll whittle it down depending on how much you pay.
Ooh. It's like a fun game. And you're like,
or they just put an ish. When do we leave? 6-ish.
you put in like a yeah, you put in like this little window, and it's like, okay, you gotta weigh the cost. What is it? The risk cost benefit analysis or whatever. It's like, okay, so if I pay $5 more, I'll have like a 50-minute window, but if I pay like $10 more, I'll have like a 20-minute window. Which one's better? I love that.
I like this.
Mouser goes, Only once, but it was weather base. They were trying to avoid the ice with the coming storm, so all flights that they could get off the ground safely ended up being about 30 minutes earlier. I actually kind of get that, even though I think like they're gonna please more people who are probably already at the airport because the flight's not canceled, than they're gonna anger a whole bunch of people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep.
Aura goes, it's Sports Week! Super Bowl, return of Rugby League championship matches. Whoop! Go Sports! Good morning, Aura. We'll have sports coming up in 30 minutes from now. Brenda goes, you want leg room? Double your cost.
Checks out.
Has Bear ever flown anywhere?
Not that I know of, but he doesn't really want to talk about traveling. I don't know why. It's a mystery.
It's probably because Bear is always outside your window.
Makes sense. I don't know. I haven't seen him in a while. So maybe he's out there.
Maybe.
Maybe it's not a nice enough day. Has anyone... Downs, have you seen Bear?
In Minnesota, people are used to flight fluctuation because of the weather, according to Dungeon Master KJ.
Mike says check the box. See the box with Bob?
Wait, if he's in the box with Bob, is Bob still with us? Oh no. All right, we'll have to look in a little bit. We'll do that when we come back. What we do know is we're going to talk about leaks and games and things. It's going to happen next on Gaming Morning Show. It's Cassidy Stevenson next. Gaming Morning Show continues. Thanks for being along with us wherever you may be on the Monday edition of the show. I told you at the beginning that my kids nonstop have been playing a game called Pokemon Legends Arceus, and as a result, we're bringing in Cassidy Stevenson to Gaming Morning Show, writer for Comic Book Resources, because you have this story or this piece that you did about top 10 games that were leaked, and, well, Pokemon Legends Arceus was the one that caught my eye when I was looking through your article, so we figured we merged those two things. My kids wanting to play this game and the fact that it was leaked. What happened specific to that game?
A week before Arceus was leaked, a week before it released, Arceus was leaked all over social media, basically the whole game. Like, all the new forms, the complete Pokédex, even the opening sequence of the game was leaked on social media. And it's kind of why I got inspiration for this article, because my friends in a Discord were like, if anybody puts any spoilers in here, you better put the spoiler warning. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get this game, so I'm going to write this article and figure out like what other games have been leaked.
And it's definitely something that's happened before. And it seems like sometimes it may have been a strategy. There seem to be some pros, some cons to games leaking so early. Talk about those a little bit.
Yeah, so a con of a game leaking early is that it just screws up like the company's whole marketing schedule. It's like, oh, this like a Smash Fighter was announced. It's like, oh, this Smash Fighter is happening. We're like, oh, we already knew that, you know, it's been leaked for weeks. And then I think like a pro of like leaking a game could be like it gets people excited for the game, and maybe nobody like knew of the game before, and then they start to see all this leaks. Like I mentioned in Mass Effect 3, the BioWare founder was like, well, you know, it sucks, but like if it gets people to play the game, then
yeah, I mean, sometimes the no news is good news. Sometimes any publicity is good publicity. In this case, that might have been the case. When you were making this list, what were some of the games that were like most notable to you in terms of, obviously Arceus is what inspired you, but were there another title, or was there another title on this list where you're like, wow, that was a big moment in time?
remember when Smash Ultimate leaked, because my friend told my other friend, he was so mad about like the fighters in it, and yeah, that was big at the time.
And have you ever personally been affected by any spoilers like this?
Yeah, so growing up, not many people around me played video games, but like when I got to college, one of my friends was like trying to get me to play Persona 4. And so I finally gave in. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna play it. And so when I played it, like the entire time before while I was playing, he's like, no, this isn't a spoiler warning. But he was like, I don't know if any of you are familiar with the game or not, but he was like, Nanako's the killer. Nanako's the killer. And like the entire time I was like, is she? Is she? Because it's like some people tell you spoilers, you don't know if it's real or not, so you're like expecting it to happen. And then of course, like I chose her when it was the screen to pick who was the killer, because I was like, well, maybe he's telling the truth. But it was crazy.
Cassie Stevenson, thank you so much for joining us. What are some of the other stories that you've written lately or that you're working on that we can find on Comic Book Resources?
So I just recently joined as a movie TV feature writer also as of last week. So I write a lot of, I just ranked the best Nintendo soundtracks of all time, which it was hard, but, and I'm starting to write various things about like Cobra Kai, different movies and stuff like that.
Nice.
We have the link there. Read 10 video games that got leaked before release. And of course, you can follow Cassie_Lee18 on Twitter. Cassie Stevenson, thank you so much for joining us this morning on Gaming Morning Show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
That was a good personal story about impact of being someone who was affected by their own circle when it comes to having a video game leak. So. Yep.
Spoilers. I've never been like super sensitive about spoilers, but spoilers for games can be big, because it's not like a spoiler for a movie where it's a 2 to 3 hour experience. This sometimes is 40 to 60 hours of an experience, where if you get a major spoiler for the end of the game, that's a lot of time spent knowing what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, you've obviously been spending a lot of your time playing Far Cry 6, right? And we have the YouTube exclusive Far Cry 6 out now. This episode 24 of that series from GMS Plays. And I can imagine if you were sitting down to play that on launch day, right? And you knew exactly some of the twists and turns you were going to go on. That's a lot of time that you're going to be like, oh, this is how it happened.
Yep. This is especially those subtle like foreshadowing events. If you have a spoiler, as soon as you see that, you're like, oh, well, now I know the next 20 hours of what's going to happen.
Brendan goes, the Smash Ultimate leak and then the Smash leak was wild. The Grinch leak really was a time to be alive. We need to have like Brendan go into our Discord and do like an oral history of the Grinch leak. I don't know. For some reason, Brendan, the way that Brendan could do voices, like that would be super fun for me.
It'd be pretty good.
KJ goes, someone spoiled the end of Far Cry 6 for me. Sad. And that made me think, So I talked about it from your perspective, playing the game and doing the Let's Plays. But for KJ, who's watching this basically exactly episodically as you can, where it's like, I'm ready for the new one, now I'm going to watch it and trying to stay up to speed. To find the spoiler after putting in that much time, that's got to be tough.
That's a bummer. It's still a fun ride, though.
Yeah. I think what Cassidy said, though, about, sometimes it can help with the marketing of game to have it leaked early, that makes sense. I think you have situations where, you want to judge public opinion before, like, the actual press release comes out or the actual event comes out, so you can always kind of put that out in feelers, and that's one tactic that they can use. So.
Yeah. There are definitely things that are leaked purposefully, because, like you said, publicity is publicity, and there's nothing freer than leaking something and having everyone pick it up and talk about it.
Yeah. Well, now it's 7:33 West Coast. It's 10:33 out East, and it's 3:33 for those watching GMS in the UK. Cassie Stevenson, you can follow Cassie, like I said, on Twitter as a recent graduate, Concordia University, Chicago, where Cassie was the co-editor-in-chief of the campus newspaper. So be sure to follow Cassie. In fact, since the article, the 10 video games that got leaked before release, came out, Cassie's published about 4 or 5 other articles, so be sure to check that out. And big thanks again to Cassie Stevenson for joining us on Gaming Morning Show. I honestly don't remember. I think I said right before we went to Cassie's interview, I said we were going to talk about something after we were done, and now I can't remember for the life of me what that was.
Kayla. Bear. We were talking about Bear.
Right. So the question was, Look, it's Mike O said, wait a second. Is the bear in the box? Is Bear in the box with Bob, and are they cuddling? Have you looked outside to see if Bear is still there?
No, something happened to the blinds, and every time I try to open them, they don't open. I think they're so used to opening after a brief poem that's the only way to open them now.
Too bad we don't have any of those available.
That's just too bad.
No. I will admit, I was at Sean's house. We were watching the Olympics. And Sean goes, hey, and then says the name of a well-known voice assistant. So I'm not going to make you order paper towels.
Alexa, buy paper towels.
No, stop, cancel! I think he said it fast enough that maybe it didn't hit. Oh, nope, I hear her in the background. Is she giving you a oral history of paper towels?
She's giving me brand options.
Wow. So kind of her. And so Sean goes, hey, voice assistant, good night. And then every single blind on the top floor of his house started to shut. It was terrifying.
Yep.
Is Alexa still talking?
No, she's all done.
Okay. I'm hearing residual Alexa then in my headphones.
She's haunting.
New product from Amazon. Residual Alexa, coming soon.
Yeah, each individual blind, when you open and close it, yeah, you can hear it, obviously. It's a motorized sound. But when you multiply that by 15, it's a lot louder. It's a long 15 seconds.
Yeah. And then there's the one that protects the plants that are in the windowsill, which I love.
Yep. It's a good one. Yeah, we used to have a bunch of plants in all of the windowsills, and we had to relocate those because now we have blinds that shut all the way in. We had curtains before, and that wasn't a problem. But there's a couple windows that still have plants there because they needed more light than they could get anywhere else, and so we have to have those set at specific heights so they don't crush the plants. One of them is like 75% shut, and that one's fine. No one's too excited about that one. But one happens to the height percentage closed happened to line up perfectly at 69%. So that's where it is.
Well, apparently Bob's fine. So Bob's still okay. No word yet on Bear though. So Brendan goes, I'll tell you a tale of a big Grinch leak who everyone fell for because they had to peek. I like that. If you could do that in the Discord, that would be fantastic, Brendan. Or maybe your next
Are we
stream.
writing a new book?
Ooh. I think this one, like the last one with the moose book where we rhymed many, many things with moose, like that one has less of a chance to get sued by the Dr. Seuss estate than if we were to actually do a full-blown Grinch thing. So, probably not a book, but a singular performance. Yeah. Look, as Maiko said the A word. Buy Bear Bears. If someone would ask theirs to order Bear Bears and just let me know what it tries to order you, I'd be very appreciative. I have no clue what it could be, so.
Who knows?
Lady K said, I'll never have automated systems controlling things like that in my home, never. And Brendan's on the same wavelength, saying, I agree, Lady K, not for me. I think I'm in the ballpark of I'm going to be like a super late adopter, but I don't think I'm going to say never.
Yeah, it depends, because in our previous house, it wasn't really necessary, but when your upstairs has 15 windows and some of them are up high, it's really nice. Nice to have, especially in a house like ours where there's, we have lots of people, and sometimes there are extra needs, whether it's sunlight coming in unusual places and having, aging adults that aren't able to get up and close things easily. Yeah, there's definitely options.
Well, I would totally sign up tomorrow for automated blinds. I'm just talking about the voice assistant part. So, that's automated blinds are awesome. But the one thing that really poked a hole in like my biggest concern with having an Alexa, dang it, I said it, having an Alexa in my house is the fact that my iPhone is constantly listening to me anyway. So, what's it matter at this stage?
Yeah.
Downs asked the question.
We've summoned Chrissy with our blind talk.
So Downs, we said, somebody please ask Alexa about ordering Bear Bears, and Downs said, mine said I'm having troubles connecting to the internet. Because Downs has had problems connecting to the internet. I like how Downs' Alexa is like 6 inches from being connected to the internet.
Well, it was connected at one point. Didn't he specifically disconnect it?
Yeah. Top of the moron to you, Chrissy. Now Chrissy's curious what you were talking about.
Good moron!
We were having a lengthy automated blinds discussion.
And so yeah, it must have gotten to you. And so now that's why you're here, right? Only because we were talking about automated blinds. Our topic of the day, by the way, is Frontier and Spirit Airlines are merging. So we're asking, what is your favorite airline? Lady K says, nope, not even automated blinds. I've seen videos of haunted and possessed Alexas. I have a habit of finding myself living in a haunted house. Well, you don't have to have the Alexa, for what it's worth, to have the automated blinds. But if you're dealing with that, then yeah, I could totally see some sort of spirit or something going after your blinds just in general. And that, I'm sure, would be... Although, I imagine you could get into the world where, like, spirits are just, like, raising your non-automatic blinds, and that would even be creepier.
We had a couple situations where blinds were opening and closing in ways we weren't expecting them to, but that just had to do with the way it's set up in Alexa. I have to, like, specify each routine, and then occasionally, a couple times, one got stuck in a routine by my own doing that I didn't intend for it to be. And so you would ask it to open like one specific room, or you would have automated one specific room, and another one unassociated with that would open and close with it. And so it'd be like, why is this specific window opening and closing all the time? Yeah, then I found it and figured it out.
Chrissy said, ah! We just ordered some ourselves.
I like the dramatic reading.
I just wanted to be like, ah! Real monsters. Do you remember that show?
It's a good show.
It was a great title. I don't remember much about the show, but I remember that being the title, and I love the fact that they had the word ah in the title.
They just wanted to be at the beginning of the alphabet.
Honestly, if that came out as part of the motivation for naming it what they named it, I'd believe you. Man, you got stacked up at the goal line there.
Yep.
Look, it's Mike. Oh, man, I wish I was a ghost right now. I'd manifest all my strength to talk to Alexa and have it by Rand. Actually, Mike, I mean, I hope you stay with us as long as you possibly can. But if someday I find out that you're no longer with us, but yet I'm starting to receive random shipments. Honey, did you order 14 boxes of brownie bites? No, I didn't.
Where'd all these mint Twinkies come from?
Ooh, maybe Hostess uses their mint flavor from their mint chocolate Twinkies, and they make it so that you can eat a Twinkie to brush your teeth.
Ow. I'm still not convinced that that's not toothpaste in there.
Why didn't we get this 55-gallon drum of sauce? I have a lifetime supply of ketchup all of a sudden at my house.
I was gonna ask. We all know you don't like sauce. Do you have a least favorite sauce?
Ketchup.
Ketchup?
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
a pretty
nothing
good one.
about like mustard has a worse smell, but I've actually had like mustard. A lot of times it's some mustard like hybrid, like a mustard aioli, like a honey mustard aioli or something like that, or like some sort of like honey mustard. Okay, I might say probably some sort of honey mustard, and I can tolerate it. Whereas like, ooh, wait, maybe mayonnaise. Nope, ketchup. Because I've had sandwiches where mayonnaise gets put on it, and I've like done the whole thing where you scrape it off the bread, and everyone's like, "There, your problem solved." And I'm like, you forgot the part of the mayonnaise that's soaked into the bread that has the residual flavor. Plus, I have a very strong mind. Anyway, yeah, ketchup, the flavor of ketchup ruins everything for me. Whereas, like, if I, like, start to take a bite of my favorite sandwich might be a pastrami and provolone or something, right? That, or pastrami Swiss. So that came with mayonnaise, and then we did the whole thing where we slathered it off or whatever. I could eat it and be like, I still kind of taste the mayonnaise, but it's not ruined. If it had ketchup on it, it would be ruined. I'd have to get rid of it. So.
Ketchup's not my favorite either, and I don't dislike it, but I've convinced myself that I don't like. I do dislike it, like on fries and stuff, because I'll put it on like a hot dog and that's fine. But I'm like, I don't want ketchup on fries. But occasionally someone else will have ketchup on their fries, and I'll have a fry with ketchup on it. I'm like, all right, that's not that bad. But in my mind, I'm like, ugh, ketchup on fries.
Top of the moron to you, Chris M.E.
Top of the moron.
Coming from the makers of Hostess Mint Chocolate Twinkies, it's Dental Twinkie. It's like a Dynabone or whatever you give dogs to help them keep their teeth clean. So there you go. The creator of Real Monsters was named something like Zach Zimmerman, and he was like, I'll show them, show them all. Yeah, it's good. Brendan's also saying Dental Twinkie was the name of my band in high school. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dental Twinkie. That's good. All right, 7:46. We have sports coming up shortly, but right now it's time to find out what Look It's Mike O is tracking at this hour.
Happy Monday. Ryan, Sean. If you guys thought you had a rough weekend or a bad end of your week, well, Nick Mordowanek from Newsweek tells us about a horse in England who had it worse because he recently found itself in a precarious situation, stuck inside of an empty swimming pool. The horse, known as Wizard, had wandered onto the property in Grendon, England, after it found its way through a broken gate in an adjacent field. According to Northamptonshire Fire and Rescue Services, officials from Melton and Wedlingborough, were called to the property at 12:33 p.m. local time on February the 3rd and saw a wizard inside of the 4'9" empty pool. Wizard simply couldn't escape the pool on its own. Animal rescue technicians, including watch managers Ben Stone and Phil Jones, formulated a plan in which the owner of the horse and property to get Wizard out of the pool. According to a statement, the team reportedly constructed a stairway to heaven from old pallets and slowly lured the horse out using carrots, hay, and sugar lumps. Those are my favorites too. A vet was on hand to provide assistance if Wizard became distressed, but as the horse remained calm, they did not require Wizard to be sedated. It's not the first time officials in Northamptonshire have had to rescue animals. Crews at the Wellingborough Fire Department routinely conduct such missions. I think somebody needs to conduct a mission on whether or not this horse is actually magic. Its name is Wizard. So if it couldn't get itself out of the pool by using its magic and hocus pocusery, maybe it should have a new name. Ryan, Sean, I'm on it. Back to you.
Well, thanks, Look It's Myko. Thanks for taking care of that for us. We appreciate it. It's Look It's Myko at this hour, Gaming Morning Show. A horse named Wizard.
Mules are better than horses. Myko, don't you think that's true?
It's possibly true. Who knows?
Possible.
Who's in your lap there?
It's just a little meow.
Meow.
Might be a little needy. Ad keeps digging his claws into my stomach. Oh,
dude.
Where you going?
Can't snag the Kraken shirt. It's 1 year old.
Oh. Hey, bud.
Meow.
Oh, where you going? Oh,
Donut.
He found an empty bag of Cheetos. He loves Cheetos. There's nothing in there. He's reaching in it.
It looks like his tail is green screened in front of your face. It also looked like a Kraken tentacle.
Oh, Arturo.
Is Arturo going to eat some Cheetos?
Yep. Oh, off he go. He got a crumb and he ran away.
Well,
mission accomplished.
So we're sitting there eating. It's 7:50. We're going to do sports here in a second. We're sitting there eating food 2 days ago. And it was delicious. Sean made like a pork roast or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was amazing.
Sean made is courteous. I was there while I was in the crock pot all day. My wife threw it in, so we'll give her credit.
Right. Sports Doc wife made a delicious like pork roast. And I was very enthusiastic about it because I'm the only person, by and large. Sean's more on my wavelength, I suppose, sometimes. But like I like when like a roast has a little bit of fat content to it, whereas everyone else seems to like to try to trim it completely gone. And this thing had some of that. It was super tender and it was fall apart, yummy. It was great. Arturo got some from mom-in-law, like got a sizable amount. And at some point we hypothesized was jumping onto the counter to maybe get some more. And then what happened?
Oh, yeah, I forgot all about that. The first part of that story is also significant because mother-in-law does not like pets, but Arturo won her over, and she especially doesn't like pets in the kitchen, and she sure as heck doesn't like pets in the kitchen eating food, and she fed him food in the kitchen, which is hilarious, and I have a picture to prove it. But out of the corner of my eye, I see Arturo try to leap onto the corner of the counter, and it's the corner of the counter. Leave the bag of Cheetos alone. You are a cat of size. Leave it alone. It's a corner of the counter that has like the dish drying rack, and there's not a lot of room. And what I'm assuming happened is he tried to jump up, realized there wasn't enough room, and just kind of aborted. But from the corner of my eye, it looked like he tried to jump up and then just like tumbled down onto the ground because he failed miserably. Also, Arturo wants more Cheetos.
It looked like there was a container that scared the heck out of Arturo. I want to say that, like, in the dish rack, they had, like, a big pizza pan or something like that. And Arturo got up there thinking Arturo was going to be the biggest thing on the counter. And it was like, oh, wait a second. Abort. So.
He was not successful.
Chrissy goes, mom-in-law getting soft, haha. And then KJ says, lol, sports doc, mill. Which is great, by the way. It speaks to how awesome Arturo is. True.
And Arturo has history in winning people over, because my mom also not a huge fan of pets in general, but especially like cats and Arturo. And Arturo knows when there's someone that's like, oh, you don't necessarily want me here, and it's his mission in life to win them over, and he's very good at it.
Arturo recorded a quote for us when Arturo got to the side of the counter that had that big old pan. Arturo said, "Meow." So there you go. It's a direct quote. All right, it's now 7:53 West Coast. It is 10:53 East Coast, 3:53 for those watching GMS in the afternoon. Cheetahs do have a cat logo, points out Downs. True.
Yeah,
true.
I've never met a cat that likes chips so much. Arturo loves chips.
More NFL news in sports. Dolphins have hired 49ers offensive coordinator Mike McDaniel as their head coach. So there you go. Yesterday was the Pro Bowl. I bet Sports.Gaming $5 if Sports.Gaming knew who won the Pro Bowl. And I say that acknowledging that Sports.Gaming is a sports fan. I am a sports fan. I don't also know who won the Pro Bowl until I stumbled across it. Do you know who won the Pro Bowl?
No.
All right, so right now live, I will owe Sports.Gaming $5 if Sports.Gaming can correctly identify was it the AFC or the NFC that won the Pro Bowl yesterday.
AFC.
The final of yesterday's Pro Bowl. 41-35 victory for your American Football Conference.
Yes.
You were correct. For one additional $1, who is the MVP?
Look, it's Micah.
That was correct.
Correct.
Maiko is also known as Justin Herbert in some circles. Or Max Crosby, because they were both the MVPs. So there you go. I guess the highlight was Mac Jones had a run where he was called down because in the Pro Bowl, you can't hit the quarterback, even less than you cannot hit the quarterback in NFL games. And so Mac Jones was whistled down, still ran like the additional 50 yards, and went down to the end zone and did a dance, even though he knew he was down. He knew he didn't score, but it's a show. So there you go. That was one of the highlights of yesterday's clips that I saw. I don't watch the Pro Bowl live. I'd go to the Pro Bowl. I wouldn't. I don't watch it live anymore. So.
Yeah, it's not worth
it. In NHL news, Claude Giroux scored 3 goals. Is it Giroux? Giroux. Now I'm second guessing myself. It's not Giroux, which is how Claude's last name looks.
It could be. We could change it.
Claude Giroux scored 3 goals, and the Metropolitan Division beat the Central Division in the All-Star 3-on-3 on Saturday in the final 3-on-3 match to win the NHL All-Star game. So that was part of the thing. I didn't know Garox was still playing. So, wow. Cleveland Cavaliers have added Karis LeVert in a deal from Indiana. Pacers coach Rick Carlisle confirmed the proposed deal shortly before the teams played on Sunday. And in KLAF Memorial Golf news, Tom Hoge, Hoge, one of the two, won the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am for his first PGA Tour title. He surged past Jordan Spieth. There was also a moment where Spieth took a shot with like his toes on the edge of like a 60-foot cliff.
Wow.
Because it was outside of like the red line, which is a hazard, so you can play it in the hazard, but like had to have his toe on the edge of a cliff to like hit it across, and it made people uneasy for sure. So
yeah. No thanks.
Any other sports for you? Oh yeah, sorry, golf clubs. Bob? Any other sports for you?
Olympic update.
Oh yeah, sports gaming's Olympic update.
We had a bunch of stuff this weekend, but the two highlights, in my mind at least, were the women's snowboard slopestyle finals. Zoe Zadowski-Senat won gold in the women's event and brings home the very first ever gold medal for New Zealand for Winter Olympics. So that's fantastic. She was quite impressive. And then in the team figure skating competition, the members of the Russian Olympic Committee will take home the gold. United States took home silver and Japan got bronze. Yeah, so they'll be moving on to individual figure skating competitions now.
Claude Giroux. I had to work on that. Yeah. There you go. All right. Look, it's my go. The New England Patriots just signed a rookie quarterback. Hold on. His name is Baum Trady. He looks a lot like Tom Brady with a mustache and sideburns. It's weird. Awkward. All right. Anything else to share? No. Tonight, no games involving your teams. It's the All-Star break in the NHL, so...
Bummer.
Sorry. All right, next hour, we will bring you community games. After a long tease about a new version of Google Feud, we'll make you wait longer because it's still not ready to go. So instead, we'll continue to add to our record for Don't Let the Person Floating from the Balloons Fall in the Monster's Mouth Medium Edition.
Nice.
Or medium strength. Medium strength. We will also do Gaming Morning Show, Morning Gaming Renews, Clip of the Day, and Takeaways that were pretty okay. So stick with us. More to come. The Monday edition of Gaming Morning Show. Facebook Gaming, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter. GamingMorningShow.tv.
Tonight, I wish that I had known I'd be sleeping alone, that you can't decide, and it is plain to see that your priorities just do not fit right. I can't reconcile this feeling. Whoa, whoa, 'cause I remember when you had certainty. haunting me, and nothing's in between, 'cause it's more divine. I can't reconcile this feeling, 'cause I remember when you had certainty.
Coming up on Gaming Morning Show, community games. Don't let the person hanging from the balloons fall into the monster's mouth. And GMS Morning Gaming Renews. Get ready for your takeaways that were pretty okay. And the clip of the day. Join our Discord and become a Patreon. Go to gms.watch and click on where to find GMS. And follow us on Twitter at WatchGMS. And join us for GMS After Dark with Look, It's Maiko. Wednesdays at 4:45 p.m. Pacific. And won't you adopt me? Time for hour number 3. Right now.
Morning, gamer. Gaming Morning Show continues. It is the Monday edition, Monday, February 7th, 2022.
And
hold on a second. I'll be right back.
No, nobody pay attention to what's going on behind the curtain. No one needs to know what's going on behind the curtain. It's secrets.
I'm sitting there like, why does it look so blended with my black shirt? And I'm like, oh, put my wall up. Whoopsie. Yeah. Bob was really compounding everything in that last intro, wasn't he?
He sure was. It was great.
Bob just was missing some airtime, apparently. I mean, it is Monday. I mean, Bob has to be quiet all weekend. Box gets lonely. So
it's true. It's true. You never turn on the light in the garage for him.
Yeah. Actually, we cleaned out the garage yesterday. I was hurting. My daughter looked at me. It's like, why are you like limping? And I'm like, because I tried to clean 2 days worth of garage cleaning in 3 hours. Because I finally got the green light from Hefty Wife to like resolve some stuff that's been taking up space in our garage. And she's finally like, you can just do whatever you need to. I was like, fantastic. So I just finally like unloaded stuff and got places and things and whatnot. And so we finally can get both vehicles back in the garage, which is great, except for the context of the show when Hefty Wife has to leave to take the kids to school. So
perfect.
So you may hear either the garage door opening or you may hear me looking into. Well, you may hear nothing because I'll be looking at the camera, waiting. Let's greet everyone. It's good to see everyone in the 8 o'clock hour.
Hello to the Final Hour crew.
The Final Hour crew is here. Look, it's Maiko. Good morning to you. Look, it's Maiko. We'll be checking in with Mike here in just a little bit, see what Mike is tracking at this hour.
Greetings, Final Hour crew ambassador Chris M.Y.
Mayor of the Internet, one of the hosts of GMS Weekend Edition. Great show yesterday. If you missed it, join us on Sundays as we have GMS Weekend Edition, 7 a.m. Pacific time. Usually a couple of panelists, an interview with a guest. It's a 1-hour show where we look back at the week that was, and thank you to both Austin Attack and Chris M.E. for hosting that. It was very much fun. I am JF Downs, a former panelist on GMS Weekend Edition. Had a great show over the weekend as well. Hey, it's Brendan _TTV, ambassador to the Final Hour crew. Chrissy Icky had to take off, otherwise would have been a member of the FHC. KJ's been here, a whole bunch of folks. Earthling Gaming this morning. Thank you for hanging out with us in chat, as well. Many, many others on this edition of Gaming Morning Show.
Hello, FHC.
Nice. So I have to leave, especially Mondays and Tuesdays. I have to leave for work like right when we're done. So the second break is my first break is like get the kids ready for school. Second break is get ready for work, right? Arturo apparently has figured out this routine because I went down, switched out of comfortable pants to work pants, and then I went into the bathroom to finish getting ready. And I walk in and I turn on the light, and Arturo's just sitting on the counter by the sink, looks at me, goes, "Meow." I go, "Oh, you're here." Just sitting on the counter waiting because he knows I'm going to be in there. It's kind of creepy.
Meow.
Scott Chick's not upset. Scott Chick's still with us as well. Part of the FHC and official deputy cat petter of Gaming Morning Show. So pet Arturo, which was nice. Meow. Look, it's Maiko says, does that mean throw it away in terms of the garage stuff? Not really, but I did almost screw up. My daughter very much wants to someday own a fashion business, right? And as that's manifesting itself right now, has a whole bunch of stuff she's been working on. And I found a box of stuff that I thought had already been sorted as garbage. And so I went to go put stuff in recycling and whatnot. And then I noticed like what I was dealing with. And I was like, uh-oh. Like if I had thrown all of this away, I would have been in some deep trouble. So I started fishing a little bit out of the recycling because there were like sketchbooks and stuff that were prevalent to this mission of hers. So yeah, it's not necessarily throwing it away, but it's certainly moving things to new homes. So it's good. It's good. Superphonic's here with the Final Hour crew. Good morning to you, Superphonic.
Hello, FHC.
I'm finally done with meetings. Whoop! Good moron. Superphonic, you had to stream over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It was delightful.
It was fantastic.
I'd invited Hefty Wife to watch. Superphonic was leading off with some music and then started playing games against Jubbly Tropical, and then finished things off with the Prop Night, Prop Hunt DBD hybrid. Oh wait, it's called Prop Night, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That game looked kind of fun.
Looked like a good time.
Arturo was also getting ready. Lol. He was putting on his smart pants too.
He likes to get dressed.
Could you put a picture of Arturo in his smart pants up later?
Absolutely. Speaking of Arturo's outfits, you all know he is a fancy boy and wears bow ties. He has lost quite a few bow ties, and our suspicion is that he loses them while getting in fights with the other cat of the neighborhood, because we've seen them fighting. And so I'm assuming that's what pulls him off, you know? Well, he came home the other day and he had 2 bow ties on. Apparently someone had found one of his old bow ties that he's been missing for like 2 months. Found it, knew it was his, and put it on him to bring it home.
Wow.
So he's well known in the neighborhood for being the cat that wears bow ties.
Oh, that's so cool. I'm also impressed that he is apparently loving enough to everybody that he's like, yeah, sure, put this thing on me, no problem.
Yep.
Pickle Feets is here.
Hello, FHC.
That's good to see you, Pickle. Says, good moron, you gorgeous TV personalities. It's very kind of you, Pickle. We are asking you, we are a morning radio show that plays games, and we are asking you today about the Frontier and Spirit Airlines merger. So this was announced and trending on Twitter this morning, that apparently these 2 ultra low budget airlines, I believe is how one of the outlets, USA Today or New York Times, described them, to become the 5th largest in the United States based on capacity, like seat capacity. And so that allowed the opportunity for Sports.Gaming to share Sports.Gaming's favorite experience with Frontier Airlines.
They're just fantastic all the time. I think the most common complaint is the fact that part of why they can be so cheap is they have add-ons for everything, right? You want to check a bag, that's an add-on, which is pretty common these days, but you want to carry on a bag, that's an add-on. You want drinks and snacks that are usually free on airlines, so you have to pay for those. You want oh no, I spilled something in my lap, can I please have a paper towel? Yes, that'll be $3. Everything's nickel and diming, which is it's just their business model, and that's fine. But throw on top of that just terrible customer service. The last time we flew Frontier, we vowed to never fly again. They were just rude, and I think the biggest one was when trying to ask about what we need to do to gate check the kids' car seats, because the kids were little at the time and they were both in car seats still. Just was met with annoyance and eye rolling, as if it was so inconvenient that they would have to answer a question about their own policies. It was just awful.
Yeah,
I'll never do it again.
Well, and I mean, we have a family that has a history with working in the airlines, and so it's also a lot easier to be sympathetic to moments where people are annoyed working a job that you have once yourself worked, right? And so I'm sure even in that context, if it was that bad, that it probably was that bad. So
it was not great.
Let's see. Brendan goes, Spirit Air was like, oh, you can have our business, but the planes, we charge a la carte. It's funny you say that. Because my favorite tweet of this whole ordeal came from somebody on Twitter. The handle is The Big Hurt HQ, and said, Frontier and Spirit are merging. Word is that Spirit paid $200 million for Frontier, plus $2 billion for the planes, plus $100 million for the computer systems, plus $350 million for the other equipment. I love that tweet so much, because it was so covert in a way. like I sat there and read. I was like, oh, okay, well, that's a pretty interesting breakdown of the dynamics of this merge. Oh, wait, it's a joke.
I see what they're doing.
That's so good. Yeah, like I said, I mean, the last time I sat on a Frontier plane, I was incredibly uncomfortable, and it was leaving at 11:15 at night, which lots of airlines leave at 11:15 at night, but this definitely didn't help my perception of my experience because I don't like flying that late. Red eyes are the toughest thing for me to do, and unfortunately from the West Coast to the East Coast, there are so many more red eyes than there are non-red eyes that are affordable. And so often when I have to fly like to Charlotte or Boston or something like that, I have to leave at like 7-something Pacific time and get there at like 3 in the morning. Dislike it, but whatever. So it wasn't entirely your fault, Frontier, but I was like, nope, I'll pay the extra $100 and leave at 7 in the morning on a different plane. Might be a fairly decent center.
Oh, I centered it more in hopes of getting an assist, which I still need 25 assists.
Only 25, though. And I'm sure there won't be any more added in Stage 4.
There better not be. This is the third challenge for assists.
Oh, it hit the...
Oh, come on, teammate.
It's 8:20 now. Thanks for being here. Scott just says, I found Oscar's winter scarf whilst sorting out some drawers this morning. Oscar was not so keen to get dressed as Arturo, however.
Yeah, Arturo likes being a handsome boy with his bow ties.
Pickle, I hope your weekend went pretty well. Same with everybody. I hope your weekend was nice. Let us know what you did over the course of the weekend, because we would love to hear. It's now 8:20 West Coast time, 11:20 out east. It's 4:20 for those watching GMS in the afternoon. But truly, Super, it was great to see you streaming again. If you don't know Super, please check Superphonic out, streaming at twitch.tv/Superphonic. Big thanks to both of our panelists from this last weekend's GMS Weekend Edition, Kiki Lowe and Hey It's Brendan _TTV. I know Brendan will be streaming again on Thursday. Just had finished the Super Mario RPG and is going to be switching to a new game, which Brendan said was a completely stress-free and absolutely non-concerning task to figure out what to play next. To paraphrase. Speaking of things to play next, though, you are very excited. So right now we are wrapping up our Far Cry YouTube exclusive, Far Cry 6, GMS Plays Far Cry 6 exclusive on YouTube. Episode 24 is out now. The next episode goes tomorrow at noon Pacific time. But the next live edition, at least as we have it standing now, will be the debut of Horizon Forbidden West, which is coming out on the 17th of February. How excited are you for this game?
I'm very excited. I can't believe it's only 10 days away. I've been excited for this game since I wrapped up the first game, because it was fantastic. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do the first, we're going to play the first couple hours live, and then that'll be broken up into episodes, and then we'll continue on YouTube like we've been doing for Far Cry 6. But no, that game's going to be so much fun. It's going to be fantastic.
There is a chance, because February 17th is a week from this Thursday, so there is a chance between today and then that we will be able to schedule a GMS Plays Fudge Village. We just haven't put that on paper yet, so we will let you know as soon as that is a possibility. KJ spent Saturday doing yard work, cleaning the house, and selling my long arm machine.
You can do it.
It's a machine that helps capture criminals, because they always talk about the long arm of the law.
Close, but not close.
So medium close?
So when I said close, I mean no, not close at all. You have to think about what does KJ do? What sort of hobbies and crafts does KJ participate in?
Well, I know KJ is the official culinary arts expert of Gaming Morning Show.
Mm-hmm. Not related to that, though.
Okay. As I say, long arm is something that makes a significant amount of homemade pasta quickly.
It's for making homemade pasta, but from far away.
That's the Stretch Armstrong pasta machine.
No, long arm is for quilting. It's a quilting thing. Yeah.
But why is it called a long arm machine?
You've been in my parents' house. You know the room by the deck that has that big machine? That's a long arm.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And you sold that, KJ? How am I going to get my quilt now? Not to make this about me, but... if you've never played Don't Let the Person Floating from the Balloons Fall in the Monster's Mouth, here's the way to find out the most recent record.
To see the record for the most balloons banked in Don't Let the Person Floating from the Balloons Fall in the Monster's Mouth, remember to type the easy-to-remember acronym, ! DLTPFFTBFITMMREC.
There you go. Weekend was too short, said Pickle Feet. Just did chores and spent time with family. Pickle, I'm going to reach out to you. I'm driving south on Wednesday. Downs goes, will there be a recap of the first game? Oh, for Horizon Forbidden West, what was the one? Zero Dawn was the first one?
Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn. Yeah, I don't know yet if they're going to have a built-in recap in the game. So what I'm planning on doing, it comes out at 9 p.m. Pacific time Thursday night, next Thursday on the 17th. I'm going to start streaming probably closer to 8:45, and we're going to fill that gap. I'm going to prep a recap of the first game and the DLC for the first game so that everyone can be on the same page in terms of the storyline. So if you haven't played or watched the first Horizon game, Horizon Zero Dawn, we'll catch you up so you can watch Horizon Forbidden West.
Smart. So there you go, Downs. Please join us for that, and we'll try to make it as fun as possible to catch up if you haven't. Brendan says, yep, I always find it so easy to choose a new thing, which is why I saved Super Mario RPG. Thank you for the shout out. Yeah, of course, you're welcome. We have a D and an S on the board. Mike, I read that as an I, but your last one was also lowercase. So maybe it's an L. All right, I'm going to go I and L. It was an I because the L didn't hit, so. KJ says, yeah, no longer have room for it. Remodeling that room into a studio apartment, but I'm selling it to a best friend. Absolute superstar quilter.
Nice.
I think we have a chance to get this one right. Even without Quiet and K-Laugh. And Copia.
Impressive.
Copia was always good at this game, too.
Oh, Copia.
Caviar diamonds. They're made out of fish eggs. I think it's a T. Okay, I always thought it was Cartier, but it's Cartier. There we go. Top of the morons, you, Keith Anthony.
Hello, FHC.
Oh, and K-Laugh is here. K-Laugh actually was the one who got it right.
Of course.
No matter how many things change, they stay the same.
Correct.
So, there you go. All right. We have 108 banked balloons on medium strength. Don't let the person floating from the balloons fall in the monster's mouth. And this one is famous brands.
Again? Is it diamonds again?
Kayla, you at least got to say hi. Like, I'm happy that you are here lurking. Like, we know that.
Put it on a pancake.
But you got to at least say hi. Okay, thank you for saying hi. At the beginning of the show. Keith Anthony's guessing Aston Martin. That's a good guess. It is not correct, but that is a good guess. I mean, to be honest, I think what I'm most proud of is I didn't have to have Sean come over and help me fix anything yesterday, but I also didn't like mess with any facilities. So really, it's like the cleaning and the organizing stuff that I can handle. I didn't have to like break open a wall or figure out why my electrical outlets are making my fingers hurt. But you did come over and have pizza.
Could've been worse. I sure did, and it was delicious. Pizza, beverages, Olympics. It was a lot of fun.
Zesty.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Shack.
It's not Shack Market, I promise. Keith, we are playing some community games right now and asking you, Frontier and Spirit Airlines are merging, so we've been trying to find out from everybody what their favorite airline is. Oh, and I forgot to mention Maiko had a good answer, by the way. Maiko said, my favorite airline is my car. If you don't know, Maiko's not a big fan of flying.
I like flying.
Yeah.
I enjoyed flying more when I wasn't responsible for two other human beings. Flying's more stressful now than it used to be. Kids.
Oh, you mean having the kids on the airplane with you?
Yeah. Traveling with children is stressful.
It is harder. Yeah. I mean, it's, I would assume almost objectively harder, but, you know, some kids do really good. Some kids don't, you know, it's not impossible by any means, but it is, yeah, definitely harder. So Maiko guessed Olive Garden, got it. Cracked. And then went bam. Chris MU responded, Mike, it's related to John Madden.
Oh no, our record went back down to 11.
It does look like that, doesn't it? As a 1-1-1, by the way. Here's a guy who, boom, got Olive Garden. Rest in peace. Keith said, I've only flown with TUI until next summer when I fly Emirates. We did have someone say Emirates is a nice airline. I've never heard of TUI. This is a place. Kalaf guessed the Louvre.
Ooh. That'd be pretty good.
Google TUI Airlines. I've never heard of TUI Airlines. TUI.co.uk. Oh, they got like a little smiley face logo. It's so cute.
All right, well, now I have to see.
It's definitely Shaq.
Oh, it used to be Thompson Airlines.
It is cute.
Yeah, look at that little cute little wink. Yeah, it's like a person sitting down with their feet at the base of their tray table.
Man, that's a lot of leg room.
There's a lot of bend in that person. Kate Zaidback says sand something. Exit light. Isn't that Enter Sand Man?
Enter Sandman. With a D though.
Downs guessed D, so.
Oh, bummer. No Sandman.
Keith says the leather seats are strong. 9 out of 10 for comforts. The TV channels are very restricted, but the food and hospitality are amazing. It's a good review.
It's pretty solid.
I mean, listen, that's the reason I like JetBlue. And JetBlue doesn't fly many places that I've had a chance to fly them. But DirecTV and extra legroom, no complaint. So. Oh, look at this. It's New Jersey.
Mike, why didn't you get that?
K-Laugh is cracked. Mike was going to guess Old Jersey. There you go. Well, that's how we do it. Don't let the person floating from the balloons fall in the monster's mouth every single show unless we play better games with our community game segment, unless we have a 5 questions guest. So, very predictable and straightforward, that segment. It's 8:33. Thanks for being here. I am Hefty Goof. That's Sports.Gaming. A big thanks to KJ, Austin, and Mike for liking on Facebook Gaming. Very, very helpful. Always appreciate when folks do that, so appreciate that. Thank you going to facebook.com/gamingmorningshow and joining us there. We also post when we have a chance to share the Gaming Morning Show Morning Gaming News. We share it first on Facebook Gaming. So if you want to watch the video, if you don't see the whole thing in the 6 o'clock hour, it's available to watch on our Facebook page first, facebook.com/gamingmorningshow. Key says the worst is always being sat in an aisle and having to constantly get up when someone needs the bathroom. Okay, now we have another topic to discuss. If the airplane has 2 sides with 3 seats each, so we're talking about a 3x3, okay, do you want window, aisle, or middle?
I go aisle, but I have long legs. I like sitting window seat, but I prefer aisle just because of my height.
I am also an aisle person because of the same reason. I like the window seat because you get the scenery, but I like to be able to use my outside leg and get it kind of out beyond the seats. And I've never been like severely bumped by the beverage cart or anything, so I'm sure that would change my opinion of putting my leg out there, but
yeah. I'm also I get claustrophobic, and so knowing that I can put my legs out and stretch fully if I need to is really handy. I'm also the type of person that I would much rather be the person that has to get up a million times so someone could go to the bathroom rather than make other people get up so I can go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So if I'm in the window seat, I will just not go to the bathroom because I don't want to bug anyone.
Look at Smiko says emergency. Well, yeah, I agree with that. If I can get in the emergency row, that's the best. There's also a couple planes that have a configuration where there's 2 emergency rows in the middle of the plane, and one has 3 seats, but then the other one has 2 seats, and there's no seat in front of the rear emergency row's window spot. And if that's the case, I will gladly take that window seat. Because then you get basically like a business class seat with the legroom. So, Pickle goes window every time. Keith also says window. Mouser prefers window as well. I tend to scrunch in a ball and sleep for a whole flight. Pickle says I'm a bad sleeper, so people walking by in the aisle wakes me up whether they bump me or not. It's like a woof.
A woof.
A woof. Not a whoosh, which is the actual sound that thing makes. It's a woof.
Woof.
It's like a dog running by you quickly.
Woof.
Yeah, so instead of like a woof, it's a woof. Makes sense. Keith says, my wife is an aisle seater, so we never sit together and always have a random passenger between us, which is a little awkward. Kind of like you, chat. You're always between Sean and me. Hey, Sean, could you pass me some Dr. Squatch soap, please?
I'd love to, but there's just I can't like.
Here,
can't get through.
I'll give you some of mine. Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm. Chat took it again.
Would you please let
Chat,
him
give it
have
back.
the Dr. Squatch soap? Here, we'll try with the.
Hey chat. Can you tell Ryan likewise?
What's that, Sean? Oh, I know. Do you want any coffee or are you good?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay.
The desk is noisy today.
This whole garage is noisy today. All right, it's 8:38. Thanks for being here. Look, it's Mike says, I have it. Aha! Oh, actually, speaking of which, Dr. Squatch soap. It's the soap of champions.
Does anyone have my Dr. Squatch soap?
And if you're in need of it, we know who can get Dr. Squatch soap for you. This isn't like a Girl Scout cookies thing.
Mike's going door to door.
Would you like some Dr. Squatch soap? Please support my Dr. Squatch troop. It's not the same thing.
Mike O sure does.
Say you're looking for gold moss.
All right, now I'm just envisioning Mike-O in a Girl Scouts uniform selling Dr. Squatch soap.
The YouTube content writes itself, so. Anyway, what we were trying to convey is if you'd be so kind as go to drsquatch.com and use purchase code DISCBRICK10 to save 10% on your first purchase, or DISCSquatch10 to save money on your first subscription. And if you use VDay20, you get 20% off today. Oh, today. So, today.
Tell us more, Mike.
Anyway, support our good friend Look It's Mike-O, and if you would like the wonderful emotes for use on Twitch, you can also go to twitch.tv/LookIt'sMikeO and get them that way too. Think we made it happen. We good?
I feel good.
Okay.
It's a little touch and go there.
Hello, FHC.
Kage Boy is here. Good morning to you, Kage Boy. Thank you for being here for this edition of Gaming Morning Show. You were here with the final hour crew, and we were asking Frontier or Spirit Airlines. Nope, that's not what we're asking. We're saying Frontier and Spirit Airlines are merging. What is your favorite airline? I mean, I guess we could have asked Spirit or Frontier.
I don't think I've flown Spirit. I say never, but then I doubted myself. But no, I'm pretty sure I've never flown Spirit.
Yeah, I don't think I've flown Spirit either, so. It's not Spirit's fault. Well, no, it probably is Spirit's fault, actually. I probably have had the opportunity to fly Spirit, but I wasn't willing to fly Spirit, so.
Sorry, now that they've combined forces with Frontier, I'll never fly Spirit.
Pickle
Solve
says,
that problem.
I'll buy Dr. Squatch when they make a Mike-O scented bar. Could you imagine?
That'd be pretty top notch.
Smells like authentic Mike-O.
So does it just smell like Dr. Squatch soap then?
I want Mike-O in my hair. And that's why I use shampoo from Dr. Squatch soap. It's really nice. Brenda goes, heck yeah, I just used my Bay Rum soap this morning. Look at that. Lady K, fun fact. There's no evidence found to support the existence of the Iron Maiden as a torture device before the early 19th century. There you go.
Lady K, fact of the day.
And it segues perfectly into us checking with Look It's Mike-O. Let's see what Mike's tracking this hour.
Hopefully this last story doesn't leave you with a bitter taste in your mouth, because it comes straight from the annals of Guinness. Amina Adow tells us about the Royal School of Chemistry, better known as RCS, has shown that when life gives you lemons, you make a battery. Specifically, 2,923 lemons were used to generate an electrifying 2,307.8 volts, breaking the record for highest voltage from a fruit battery on October the 15th, 2021. RCS is an international organization that connects thousands of scientists together, recognizing and celebrating advances in chemistry. The record attempt took place in Manchester and was broadcast on Sky News to highlight the importance of energy storage and address the new need for new innovations to achieve a zero-carbon world. With the help of battery expert Professor Saiful Islam and scientist presenter Fran Scott, lemons were turned into batteries by cutting the lemon in half and attaching strips of zinc and copper to both ends. As Professor Islam explains, the lemon becomes a battery when the lemon juice acting as an electric light, while zinc and copper are the electrodes. That's a lot of words. Going further, the lemon juice or the electrolyte allows the ions to flow from the strip of zinc to the strip of copper. To verify the attempt, The lemons were placed together on shelves and attached to a voltmeter, or voltometer, whatever you want to call it. After the voltometer, or Voltron, was turned on, the voltage from the lemons totaled up to 2,307.8 volts, breaking the previous record. Not only breaking, but smashing the previous record by 1,521 volts. That's a lot of volts. When life gives you lemons, you just shock it. That's shocking. Ryan, Sean, have a great Monday.
You too, Look, it's Maiko. Thank you for checking in with us at this hour on Gaming Morning Show.
Nice.
Gotta
get some lemons.
Do we?
Why not?
So almost 3,000 lemons, Sean.
Yeah, we gotta start getting them now. Take a lot of trips to the grocery store.
Maybe we should just get a lemon tree.
We had a lemon tree in our backyard in California, and when I played baseball, and my dad and I practiced pitching a lot, we had a little side yard that was the perfect length for a pitching mound, and so he built me a pitching mound in our backyard, and we'd pitch all the time, and the mound was right in front of the lemon tree, and I only cut my hand like 5 times on the lemon tree.
And then
had sharp thorns.
I was going to say, circumstantially, then the lemons would also break open and then squirt lemon juice into your cuts. In some way, somehow, that's how we tie in lemons to the Iron Maiden. Lady K, we tried. I did hear how Maiko pronounced a certain word in that particular at this hour. And to be honest with you, I didn't think it was right, but I wasn't 100% sure. And Chris and me immediately came through and confirmed to me that that was not how you pronounce that. So.
Yep, that's not the way.
Jumped over my head.
You missed, but he missed also.
Pickle goes, why does this bitter taste come from the annals? Annals. Claude Giroux. Imagine me having a rough pronunciation day.
That never happens. We'd have to have like a counter or something if that happened all the time.
If only. If only. Chris yelled at Mike, said, I know you know how to say that word. KJ says, lemons don't really grow locally here, not outside at least. Pacific Northwest, though, can grow more fruit than I would have ever have realized.
Yeah. We have a pretty eclectic set of fruits and veggies that can grow here.
I'm never eating a fig again. Because I assume, like, it wasn't a certain, like, type of fig that required the wasp, right? Or is that all figs?
I don't know.
Because I ask because, like, I like figs. Well, I like fig Newtons, so maybe that's, you know, not the same thing, but... Oh, yeah, top of the moron, too, Forgotten. I saw you had walked in. I didn't get a chance to say hi.
Hello, FHC.
But Forgotten's here this morning. What is your favorite airline? My answer is right now, I think I like JetBlue just a skosh better than Alaska. But we had talked about Alaska being a good airline as far as, like, meeting our expectations.
Alaska's pretty good, yeah. I was happy with Delta. Delta was good.
Forgettable Vendetta, yeah, checked in earlier. I think Alaska is the one I fly the most just because I also have the credit card, and so Alaska has a cool companion fare deal, which is awesome. So you can get any of their tickets, and then once a year you get a companion fare, and they're usually as low as like $99 plus tax for the companion fare. So, but yeah, I fly probably Alaska a lot more. So. Bouillabaisse. 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 How am I doing?
Is that your favorite airline?
Well, I was wondering, was that one of the ones that I've had that gave me particularly big trouble?
That sounds right.
Yeah, that sounds right too. Bouillabaisse. Forgettable. What's your favorite airline? Yeah, we've had some votes for Virgin, which has since merged with Alaska, or was bought by Alaska or something. And so I heard things like Alaska or Virgin's gone downhill since Alaska bought them. Yeah. Top of the moron to you.
Hello, FHC.
Quiet AM Gaming is here. Wish me luck today, y'all. My company is giving away 2 Super Bowl tickets plus airfare hotel in a few hours. All we had to do was take a selfie with a piece of merchandise, but there's only like 300 entries. Hey, quiet.
Wow.
That's like a 1 in 300 chance.
Some good math.
They call me the human calculator.
Beep bop boop, beady boop bop, beep boop beep. Beep bop boop 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 beep bop beep boop boop beep bop.
They call me the human calculator.
Do they?
They sure do. All of them. That's awesome. I hope you have fun. It's in Los Angeles. It's the Rams and the Bengals coming up this Sunday at 3:30 Pacific time. So, do you want to make a Super Bowl pick later this week?
Yeah, we should probably do that at some point.
Fair enough. Yeah, pickle, I agree. Those are pretty good odds. So good luck with that. Lady K says bouillabaisse is a dish, I believe. I believe it is. I think I'm okay. I'm gonna actually try to be.
Still could be an airline.
Bouillabaisse.
Think that's good.
Okay. Forgettable Vendetta said KLM and Emirates are pretty good. So I've heard of KLM. I've never flown it. I guess I've heard of both those. I've never flown it. KLM used to have some sort of connection to one of the airlines here in the U.S. And I can't remember if it's like a partner. Maybe it's Alaska has a partnership with them. So like if we want to use our Alaska miles to fly to an international destination, we can use them on some other airlines. So, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, quiet reminded me. I'm sorry. They don't call me the human calculator. They call me the Humana Abacus. You can look it up. It's on the internet.
So I'm gonna put a link in chat for the Wikipedia article for KLM. Ryan, I'd like you to go to that link.
Okay.
And at the top it says KLM Royal Dutch Airlines legally, and then tells you what KLM is short for. I'd like you to read that.
Okay. Legally. You want me to read that part?
Yeah. What does KLM stand for?
Let me get proactive really quick. Let me know how many of this counts for, okay? I think our rule is it's still 1, but
yeah, I think it's 1.
Thank you. The mispronunciation counter is on the board for no specific reason. Okay. Or on the show. KLM Royal Dutch Airlines, according to Wikipedia, is legally known as Koninklijke Luchtvaart Appige.
Nailed it.
NV.
Perfect. It was everything I hoped it would be.
I heard the word perfect, which means we stay at 139. Suckers. I would repeat it because it's important to do those things to make sure everyone heard correctly. But unfortunately, it's 8:52 on the West Coast. It's 11:52 on the East Coast. And it's 4:52 for those watching GMS in the UK. So, we have to get to the Gaming Morning Show Morning Gaming News. This is a recap of the headlines of the day video game-wise, which we do every single show in the first hour. You can join us, or you can search us on Twitter and look for the
hashtag GMS Morning Gaming News.
We also have takeaways that are pretty okay and our Billy Thundergun winner coming up in just a second as well. Right now, once again, hashtag video game expert Sean.
Good morning. It is still Monday, February 7th, 2022, and this is still your gaming morning show, Morning Gaming News. First news story of the day, Rockstar confirms that Grand Theft Auto, we're assuming 6, is in active development. Let it be known, though, that they did not specify that this is Grand Theft Auto 6, that it is just a new entry in the Grand Theft Auto series. They say, quote, with every new project we embark on, our goal is to always significantly move beyond what we have previously delivered, and we are pleased to confirm that active development for the next entry in the Grand Theft Auto series is well underway. Great. Perhaps this will come out at the end of the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X/S life cycle, and we'll still be playing Grand Theft Auto 6 on the PlayStation 10 and the Xbox Series. We give up. You call it whatever you want. /S.
I still like the idea of when it finally does come out. It's going to be like Grand Theft Auto 17. Ooh, and their marketing tagline could be because we missed a few.
In another news story, we talked about Hogwarts Legacy, which was originally supposed to be out in January of 2021. Spoilers, it did not come out in January 2021, and is currently set to come out during Shrug. But there are some hints that it may possibly be coming out in September of 2022. First of all, September 1st is Back to Hogwarts Day, which is the day during which the fictional characters of the Wizarding World return to Hogwarts. But also, we now know that the official release date for the official art book of Hogwarts Legacy, which is called The Art and Making of Hogwarts Legacy, is going to be released on September 6th. So perhaps we'll see the game early this coming fall. Maybe. And then we also discussed the Steam Deck, because turns out the Steam Deck is a handheld console of size. It's real big. Do you want to see it compared to the Switch or the Vita?
I would love to see it compared to the Vita.
The Vita, that is the more dramatic of the two. It's so big. It's so big.
Okay, so this is always where, like, you're watching NBA basketball, right? And you're like, oh, that person doesn't look so tall. And they're like 6'10", right? But because on TV, they're shorter than, the 7-footer or whatever. So you're like, they're like 6'10". That's 6 feet tall. That Steam Deck, in no pictures until today did I realize that it is that much of a game console of size.
Look how far I have to move to get out of its way. It's so big. So yeah, apparently the Steam Deck is going to be not small. And the official the title of the story we linked from Wesley LeBlanc of Game Informers, the Steam Deck is big, like really, really big. Which is fantastic. If you follow the link that we provided, the Game Informer article does link some Twitter posts, which is what the pictures I used were from. But people have then replied and keep putting it by other gaming systems. So the Game Gear is probably on there. They also put it next to an Xbox Series X and a PlayStation 5 DualSense controller, and the Steam Deck is about as big as both of those combined.
Oh my gosh.
It's large. Out today, we had Heroes of Loot 2 out on the Switch, and for the most prestigious award in video game focused morning shows, your favorite segment within a segment, name of the morning went to Unstrung Legacy, out on Switch.
Congratulations to our name of the morning, now thus eligible for name of the month consideration. It's not super soon, but it's not going to be months. Okay, we'll name our name of the month for the month of January. congratulations again to Hofbrew for winning our Fulfillment Appreciation GMS Name of the Month giveaway, where we did catch up on all the missed titles that we had not done. Chris M.E. posed the question, how about compared to a Sega Game Gear? Stick around. We'll bring that up in takeaways that were pretty okay, but right now it's time for the clip of the day. The clip of the day. Hey, look! It's the clip of the day. Toot, toot. Person to actually deliver the physical copy, so actually bought it twice and got a digital version of it. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Anyway, we'll talk about this particular game in the context of leaking. Not like Kiki leaking, but like
spoiler tease.
Like, hey, this game is coming out and here's some information about it that you need to know. Or should steal.
Kiki leaks kind of like WikiLeaks?
No.
Is that like the same thing?
No, I don't think they're the exact. They're perspiration.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know. Julian Assange, for all I know, might be a sweater. So, depends.
Depends. That's a different thing.
It's also for leaking. Good more on two affirmation. There you go. Depends. They're also for leaking. It looks like you might have found a comparison between the Game Gear.
Yeah, that's the Game Gear. I also found one more to share. This is a comparison between the Steam Deck and the PlayStation 5.
Oh my gosh, if you'd be so kind as to throw all of that extensive research in our Discord, we'd certainly appreciate it. All right, chat, what is your takeaway that was pretty okay? What is something you learned from today's show? And then if you're watching on Twitch, we're going to send you over to Noob Tunes. Hello, I am Yanka, a.k.a. Noob Tunes, she, her, Nigerian-born, London-based content creator, mainly streaming Final Fantasy XIV and Animal Crossing. Right now, playing the former of those games, Final Fantasy XIV Online, Monday Fun Day. So please say good morning from GMS as we send you over there if you're watching on Twitch. Also, our Billy Thundergun Award winner today, because we were talking about Frontier Airlines and Spirit Airlines merging. Billy Thundergun Award goes to, well, the Big Herd HQ, because not only did that tweet make me laugh really hard, but Brendan even came in and made a very similar joke. So congratulations on Twitter, the Big Herd HQ.
Billy Thundergun, Teammate of the Match Award.
All right, what is your takeaway? That's pretty okay.
My takeaway is that KLM stands for, man, I can't remember what it was. Maybe Ryan can tell.
Yeah. Oh, unfortunately, I went off that page because my takeaway that was pretty okay, in addition to crushing the pronunciation of what KLM means, is that a AA battery weighs 2.4 grams or 0.08 ounces, which, or maybe it was 24 grams because I think it was 0.8 ounces. And then I made that 8 batteries equals 16 pounds. It's not really how that works. Just call me the Humana Abacus. Takeaway from KJ. Arturo likes chips.
It is true. He's a big fan.
Apparently was eating Cheetos, to which Downs replied, well, there's a cat on the label. So, all right, we'll do it again tomorrow as we do Monday through Friday. Big thanks again. Talk to us about games that leaked from Comic Book Resources, Cassidy Stevenson, for joining us. If you missed that interview, it'll be on our YouTube page later, and you can check out right now episode 24 of our Far Cry 6 GMS Plays YouTube exclusive. For Mike O in the newsroom, for Austin, for Sean, I'm Hefty Goof. Thanks for being here. We'll see you again tomorrow. My takeaway is Mike knows how animals is pronounced and purposely mispronounced it. That's from Chris M.D. We'll see you tomorrow.
Give it time. I'll make you mine, girl. Your hand in mine. I'll lead you far away, girl. So divine. Our lips touch, our eyes close. Pull me down, drown me